Huh? Nani hajaongeza? Total 17, 24, 23, 6. Umpata ngapi? 18, 23. The teachers and adults who are in this class, I would like to tell you that the slide I brought earlier that says every successful generation or successive generation has more stress than the previous one is a true thing. It's because of the factors I will explain to you. These people are being disposed to a lot of things that trigger depression, and we must do something to check it among young people. Here is, mmeshaongeza? Okay, so here is how to check. Number 1, look here. If you have answered 1, 2, 3 to question 9. Let me go back. Add 2 or 3. Watu wenye wameanza 2 or 3 to this one. We can't let you to go home. We must have a talk. Usicheke. This lesson is not a laughing matter. When I want you to laugh, I'll tell you. I am a very funny speaker, I know. This is not a laughing matter. That is number 1, criteria number 1. So we need to talk, sawa? We need to see whether it's a normal feeling or it's very serious. Okay. If your totals are from 0 to 6, then you are healthy. That is very normal. Stress, kuna siku hujafanya mzuri kwa mtihani, mama amekukasirisha, whatever, that you are very healthy. Some bit of stress is good for life. Sawa? So don't always run away that stress is all bad. But it's to 10 inamaanisha kuna kitu inaanza kukuagitate. Something is now you are unhealthy and something must be done to control what is happening. If you scored anywhere between 11 to 19, we can say sufficiently you are depressed. It is moderate depression, but it's not good. And I'm going to teach you what to do kuipunguza, kutoa hizo causes. If you have a number that is above 20, you are in the same category of the people who answered 2 and 3 to number 9. You are in severe depression. Ukiachwa uende nyumbani, this is someone who might even commit suicide. It means there's something really bad in your life. And we must talk before we leave here. So what I want you to do, I want you to keep that sheet for yourself. I want you to grow up as counselors, people who can detect stress within yourself and within your friends and within your family members. Why this seminar is important? So that we have people from here who can help the community, sindio? Hatutaki kusikia ya kwamba mtu yeyote in this village amejiua and you are. Now open the next page. I'm going to teach you how. Because if you don't know, maybe let me ask you. We started this lesson by saying, a president was depressed. Question. Depression inashika maskini peke yake? Does it catch the rich people? He is a doctor from South Africa, a top cardiologist, Professor Bogani. Jews alijiua because of stress. 51-year-old, she was in 2nd year. Why did she commit suicide in the botanical garden? Because her kulipa school fee. Question, does anybody saw this girl's story on the news? Maybe mlikuwa shule. Mwazazi mliona. Question, does depression affect Christians? Elders? Pastors? Kuna jamaa anaitwa Elijah, alikuwa prophet. Next to Jesus, John the Baptist in the Bible. The next important person is Elijah. He did serious things, including calling fire from heaven. The next day, pretaniwa na Jezebel. Jezebel akamwambia, mimi nitakuwa by kesho. I need to give you a definition that I got from medical books. They said, stress is the total psychological reaction to an adverse or a threatening stimulus. I'm going to explain that. Inamaanisha, ukiona nyoka, na udecode ati hii nyoka inaweza niua, your body goes into stress. If na Jezebel nitakuua kesho. The Bible says when he saw, he arose and he went for his life. He came to Beersheba, which belonged to Judah, and he left his servant there. Can you see ameanza kuwa lonely? Amelala. The Bible says he went into the wilderness a day's journey, and he came and sat down underneath a broom tree and prayed that he might die. Huyu ni prophet akasema it is enough. Am I not better than? Yani now unaanza kufeel, I think my parents would be better without me. Anybody has felt like that before? The Bible says an angel came and did two things. Brought him food. Tumeona aliambiwa arise and eat, alafu the guy touched him. What happened to the angel? The angel did what? You guys, that's an important word. The angel did what? Maybe we can just change the projectors. I pray today that the angel of God will touch us where we are feeling low. But besides touching, I need you to know that depression will... No, don't remove that first. Turn on this until ikuje kwa screen. Okay, we set, then we just swap. Apart from depression being a problem on its own, there are other diseases. Utakuwa na constant headache, utakuwa na asthma, sijui, even cancer, because your immunity is suppressed. Walisema, if you have to live with a child who has depression for just 1 year, the amount of money you will lose in taking care of that child is 1.4 million. But if you stay with depression for the whole of your life, you lose 38 million. So even money-wise, but besides that, if your parent is depressed, watch a Twitter starter. If your parent is depressed, you realize there might even be divorce. They might not be able to go to work. They can't relate with you. So we must be able to deal with depression. How many of you want to know the solutions for depression? I have them. You want to know? Very good. Open a new page. There are treatments to depression. The treatments, Mekuja, so take it on top of this one. But then we plug this one and transfer hook. Like that. Yeah, let's pick it up from where we were. It's coming. I want to give you the solutions for depression. So before I tell you the solutions for depression, just hold on. Don't write. I know what you should write. I know you want to write. I want to give you the solutions. There are 10 easy ones, and then I'll leave it here. So what you need to know, we need to look out for triggers, vitu zenye zinaanzisha hizo depression around us, and then we remove them. Sindio? Now the good news is this. No, there are good news and bad news. Which one do I start with? Bad news. Okay. So the good news is this. Oh, you want bad news? Okay. The bad news is this. If for us to get comprehensive treatment, we must find an active cause. That means diagnosis, which is what we have done. We know there is a problem. Now, there are 10 at least 10, let me just say 10 known causes. I'm going to categorize them. 10 known causes of depression. So that means there are 10 known solutions for depression. Sawa? But 2 of those categories you can't do anything about. The causes that come from the first 2, you can't do anything about it. But the other 8, you can reverse. Now, that is the bad news. The bad news is you can't do anything about the first 2 causes. But the good news is the body can handle an active 4 causes in your life and you're not even depressed. Lakini if you have over 5, zianze kupita 5, utaanza sasa kuslip into depression. So what I want you to do is ask yourself these questions. Number 1, there is a cause called genetic cause. Write that down. What is genetic cause? Ukiangalia kwa uko yenu, kuna anko alijinyonga. Hiyo inaweza kuwa labda kwa damu yenu kuna ninis of depression. There are genes of melancholy. I don't want to go into the science of it. But I want you to just check, is there a family history, a parent, a grandparent, a relative who has suffered depression, who has committed suicide? If that is the case, then maybe, I didn't say you are, maybe you have a genetic cause. This one you can't change. However, wanasema kama diabetes. Mnajua diabetes? Ugonjwa wa sukari. Or pressure. You might have high blood pressure because of your genetics. But not everybody who has genetical predisposition gets blood pressure. Some of them are triggered now by lifestyle. Ni kama gun. You know, if I hold a gun here, will it injure anybody? No, until I point it at you and pull the trigger. Sindio? Until ni pull your trigger ndio gun itakumiza. So genetics ni kama gun. Lifestyle ndio inafanya hizi vitu zianze sasa kutokezea. The second one is a course called developmental course. This thing I wanted to teach it yesterday with the parents, because some of our children develop depression because of environment that they have grown up in. They have been left with someone who has abused them. You can't change your family. Sindio, huwezi sema mimi sasa Andrew nimechoka na baba yangu nataka kuja kwa baba yako. You have to survive hapo, sindio? Kila mtu akae kwao. Lakini you must know how to minimize. End of bad news. Hizi vitu mbili peke yake ndio you can't change. Anything after this you can change. The other good news I told you, the body can handle up to number how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 and you don't get depressed. Lakini causes zikianza kuendelea now number 5, hapo sasa uko at risk. So what I want you to do is everything I will list after this, ukiona around you, and I'm going to tell you how to do something about it. Is that good news? Some of us were raised in bad households, like me. Trauma kama watoto, like tulikuwa na shida when later I was living with my sister. So we would go to shower with my nephews, the young boys of her house. So my nephew would come to me and ask me, uncle, anaona mguu yangu. Unajua ndio maana tunavaanga trouser. Anaona mguu yangu, anauliza, uncle, kwani nyinyi mlikuwa mnapigwa bunduki kwa mguu mkifanya makosa? Because my leg had a lot of scars. Zile za, boils. I don't know whether somebody knows that kind of life. Difficulty. So you can, and I'm not stressed. Am I stressed up? No. But I grew up in that kind of a home. So don't say, oh, mimi mama yangu siyo hapana. Those are only those 2 you can't change. Anything after this, we grow up. There are people whose parents are like those guys. Mama kuna makelele. Yani unaingia kwa nyumba ni kelele tu every day. You understand? You don't get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. There are children who are affected by divorcing parents. We understand. You can't do anything about that. But let me ask, can you change this one? Academic pressure? That's why Dr. Ogali is here to help you plan. Because ukianguka, stress itaongezeka, sindio? Your parents wanasema, unaona watoto wa nani wamepita na wewe, no wonder before we leave here we must talk to you about academic what? Our children, if you are, I don't know whoever will watch this thing. There are things we do to our nations, but it's messing up our children. Mtoto ako class 1, ako na assignment, unaita sijui homework. Homework manade. Do the thing in school. Mtoto akikuja home, when they are below 12, their greatest need is to play. That's why I don't even want them to sit here. The greatest need of your brain is not to sit and listen. So if you give me an 11-year-old, I go play with them. That's how their minds develop. Amepewa assignment, usiku. These things are the ones causing stress to our children. But I'll teach them that one. Even exams. Sindio? So, George, as you'll be doing this session, I think I have a session that can help, maybe a slide on how to take exams, so that exams don't become a source of stress. Okay? Because you don't work, so I'll skip that part, but some people are also stressed up because their parents are strained financially. But let's move to number 3. Here now, I want you to write and do something about it. Lifestyle will cause you stress. Lifestyle will reduce your stress. For example, kuna watu during holiday, wataka ndani ya nyumba all day. I am telling you, you will be depressed. Eti kwa TikTok, kuna watch 2 movie. Let me tell you, one of the solutions for stress is exercise, outdoor, working with your hand. I have statistics, I'm not going to bore you with it. Watu ambao wanafanya kazi in 3D. Kama kazi yako ni kwa TikTok throughout, it's called on the screen. That's called 2-dimension. I heard each of you was like, I love watching nonsense. I love watching Nigerian movie, nonsense. You'll be depressed soon. I want to ask you, when you live here, if you can develop a lifestyle ya kuenda nje, asubuhi kwanza hiyo jua ya saa 12 na saa 1, science shows that there is light that your eyes speak, not for vision. It goes to the brain, it activates a part of the brain that is called the pineal gland, which is in charge of keeping your mind and brain strong from stress. Anybody who is indoor between 6 and 7 will surely end up in stress. 6 a.m. eti bado unalala. Train yourself. Iyo 6 o'clock, it doesn't matter which day of the week. Be outside in the sunlight. I'll explain why that sunlight is very important. The other one is also exercise. Now, exercise, the children of today don't like. They are being pushed. But you see, you don't have to go at the exercise. When you are still young, you can play football. For me now, I'm old. What I do is a little run in the morning. I did that yesterday. I've done it today. I do something that I can do every day. And your moods just keep getting better through the day. The trick of exercise is you want to move, to sweat, and to drink water. You will see later that water is also an important lifestyle. Let me move to the next one. There is something called early to bed, early to rise. Watu hii age awalali. Usiku, kwanza ukifika tu home hivi na simu, upewe TikTok. Saa 8, unasikia tu ma text zinaingia. Watu awalali. And even if they sleep, they don't know how to sleep. Let me pause here and tell you, if you had only 2 things to choose that will beat your stress, choose an outdoor exercise, active life, and good sleep, because one will always lead the other one. People don't know how to sleep. Let me teach you how to sleep. Number 1, day or weekend, always sleep at the same time. That is me. Number 2, for some of your ages, you might need 9 hours, especially mtu wako below 12, you might need a little longer because of developmental need. Akili bado ina develop. Na by the way, kama haulali, Ogalo ulisema akili ina develop by age what? There's a lesson you taught that the frontal lobe develops fully at age 18. If you want your frontal lobe to develop well, sleep is one of those things. If you are below 18, don't compromise on sleep. Don't do anything less than 8 hours of sleep. If you are below 12, do sleep that goes to 9 hours or 10. You need it for your brain. If you want to be wise and sharp like Andrew, sleep well. Kainja form 4. Uko university. You can work well with 7 hours of sleep. But how do you know how much sleep you do? You do need You can do your own experiment on yourself. So this is what I did. Before I do that, always start sleeping before 10 p.m. Ellen White actually ameandika juu ya hiyo, akasema sleep is worth more before midnight than after midnight. I should have put it here, but no need. But if you want to check that is true, enda kwa zile sijui kesha kiango, si ndio? Ukaekae kama jana, or mkue excited, ukaekae hadi 1 p.m. sijui ibeda pokinindo up to saa ochi kotieno, and then usingi. I go on. You only produce melatonin if during the day you are out in the sun. So if you are indoor, kwanza uta struggle kulala. Number 2, if you sleep late, that hormone haita nini vizuri. So I want you to make a serious determination. Kuanzia leo, you will be asleep before 10. I like that. Unless you are up. Can I tell you how this thing has benefited me? Let me just show you. I need you to know, because sometimes you think we're just teaching here. I am a perennial, these guys can confirm. I've been with them now for 2 days. They have seen my behaviors at night. Ata ukitumia toothpick to keep my eyes open, utumia toothpick lift nini hivi. At 10 o'clock, I switch off. And I have trained myself. I can't be asleep past 4 a.m. unless I am dead. It's a law. Mwili yangu imezoea, na out of that, especially the morning hours, I have done so many things. I have created a journal for depressed people. Here it is. This journal goes for 1,000 shillings, and I don't want you to buy. I have written many books. One of them is here. This is a different book. How many books, George, have I written? This is another one. I've carried them. I don't even want to tell you what they are about. This is another one. Each of the books is 1,000 shillings. Each. And I don't want you to buy because you can't afford. There are 8. Kuna books on family here. The point is this. Anybody knows that song, Early to Bed and Early to Rise? Make someone healthy, wealthy, and wise. I like that. I have benefited from that thing in my own life. Iyo masaa ya asubuhi is where I put my mind to do serious things. Hata hii definition ya depressed, I came up with it today morning. I did this thing today morning. Na ukiwa na hiyo wisdom, you will pass in class. For me now, I don't have any class. I sit with my own class, and my own class is making the next $1 million per month, isn't it? So with that wisdom, I'm able to write books. And if I am able to sell these books, which I usually do, I don't have money problems. Some of you are wondering, how comes you bought a laptop here 200,000? That's not my problem. My problem is, how can I create a program that people can go in and get solutions? This thing I'm teaching you is online, and someone registers from Australia and he goes through the program and his depression is healed. He leaves for me 10,000 shillings while me I'm asleep. It's called wisdom of life. If you choose to determine that you will sleep early and wake up early, I am promising you 3 things. 1, you will be healthy. Number 2, you will make money. Number 3, you will be wise. Ukiamka kuongea, ukifungua tu mdomo hivi. Do you know why I'm being paid? I am being paid for the quality of my brain. I am telling you, and you guys can get there. Anybody wants to get there? I have come to leak for you my own personal secret. Nikiamka asubuhi. Andrew, what do you do? Here it is. And this one solves for me 1,000 problems. Write this down. Now let me put it up there. When I wake up in the morning, what do I do? Let me put that picture there. The first thing I do is calibrate the physical. So me nikiamka, I don't wake up and start reading the Bible. Hey Andrew, kwani wewe sio Mkristo? Because I don't even pray the first thing. Why? Because you who wakes up and starts praying in bed, you fall asleep again. You don't even, then you wake up later, hata huko umesema amen. So what you need to know, listen here. When you wake up, your body has been digesting toxins. It's been resting. When you wake up, your level of, what's this hormone? The stress hormone is called what? Cortisol. Your level of cortisol is highest when you wake up. No wonder ukiamka unasikianga umekasirika tu bure. That's very good. Because it's normal. Everybody feels like that. Why do you feel like that? Because your body has been repairing. So how do you deal with that cortisol? Now listen, the other thing I need to teach. Give me some 5 little chairs. There were children chairs here. I need to teach this one. This one I must teach here. Sam knows this lesson. Give me children chairs. I got them. Listen here and watch. This is a good illustration. So during the day, anybody knows that your body has something called the skeletal system? The system that keeps you walking. Has something called cardiovascular system, the one that pumps blood and breathes, respiratory. Anybody knows that your body system has something called respiratory system? You know that one that breathes air? Anybody knows that your body has a system called excretory system, the one that takes you to the toilet? Give me another system. Which other system? Digestive, follow me this idea. And many other systems. Listen. This one will help you the next time you are going to sleep and tomorrow you have an exam. Watch keenly. When you go to sleep, what happens? You lay down, your skeletal system goes to rest. It turns off. Is that okay? Your auditory system turns off. Mtu akiongea hausikii. Sindio? You shut your eyes, your visual system goes off. Sindio? It even locks you kwenda kwa choo and something else. But there is a part that remains. There is something that remains called the subconscious mind. Inaendanga ikirom, inajaribu kukumbuka hiyo lesson Andrew ilikuwa nayo, inaenda into the back, into the past, into the present. But because haina connection na hizi vitu, ina operate on its own. That's why it generates funny images where unaona ulikuwa kwa seminar na grandmother yako, na grandma yako hapa. They are called dreams, isn't it? You understand? Let's go back. Now you understand. You understand. So, when you go to sleep on the exam day, or exam is tomorrow, sindio? Unajua hujasoma, sindio? Unajiambia, maze, mimi nikiamka 2 hours, najua nitasoma vizuri. Good idea. Sawa? That decision in the evening, hata unaweka alarm, it has been made when all of your brain is awake. Every system is awake. So they're able to tell in terms of time, space, and matter, and the significance of that exam. Kesho tutaamka, unaweka exam, unaweka alarm, sindio? Aya, kila mtu anafanya nini? Mbona amjibu? Kila mtu anafanya nini? System shut down. Jamaa anabaki. Unamjua? The subconscious. Anaroam, anajaribu kukumbuka, yule Ogal, hata unakumbuka Ogal was with my grandmother, Ogal was not even with you, Ogal was here. Sawa? Shida ya hii jamaa, itaroam on everything, uone unatembea na maboys wako, alafu unasikia ni kama blada imejaa, sindio? Alafu hii ni dream, hiyo unaota, alafu unaambia maboys, nyinyi tembeeni mbele, unaturn kwa bungu. Shida ni, huyu jamaa, if you have it's called miscoordination. Because when you grow up, your brain is supposed to be partitioned to operate independently. Shida ni, some people, this system can wake up the excretory system peke yake without other hizi zingine. Unaamka na realize bed iko wet. Because hii inafaa kuamsha hizi zote kwanza before hii. Ndio akili ijue niko kwa kitanda, the motor system ya mke utembe, macho ione choo, uende kwa the right place. Ndio? Let's go back. So umeamka asubuhi, alarm ndio hiyo imefanya nini? Na ulikuwa unafaa kufanya nini? Kufanya cut. Kuamka usomee cut. Unaanza kuargue. Remember, everything is shut down. Unaanza kuargue. Wacha nilale tu 1 hour. Ujinga. Eti 1 hour. Wacha ni zoom tu kidogo 30 minutes to hata 20. My friend, don't ever do that, because the brain you are using to adjust the time is a half a brain. Are you following? So what I do, don't even use that brain for prayer. Some prayers you made last week, you can't even remember them. So what I do is this. When the time of sleeping comes, I shut down well. Let me go back. How do you shut down well? Sleep in a dark room. Let me go back there. I'm coming back to this in a short while. When you are going to do your day, let me just see that. The sleep one was where? Here it is, the sleep guy. So we said sleep regular, sleep for 7 hours in a silent, dark room. If you're a parent here, provide good sleeping environment for your children. It's important. Sleep on an empty stomach. That means, listen, you can do what you like, but me, I'm telling you what works. That means eat your last food at least 3 hours before you sleep. So if I'm going to sleep at 10 p.m., if I visit you and you make me eat after 7, you are hurting me. I'll just eat kukufurahisha, but I don't like it. In my usual life, I will eat by 7, the last meal in my body. By 10 o'clock, I go to sleep. When I wake up at 4, I feel so refreshed. You do the way you like. Kula ugali kubwa alafu lale. When you wake up, you'll be too tired. Why? 2 things. Listen, why you get too tired? Because the food in your stomach, 2 things happen. If you eat and sleep immediately, 2 things happen. Number 1, either the food doesn't get digested and your breath becomes bad. If the digestive system went to sleep. If it remains grinding, then you don't get rest. When you wake up, because digestive system, do you know it needs the brain to be awake for it to work? Yes. So you think you have slept, kumbe brain was running a machine. And that machine is serious. If you get to know how serious it is, enda ukule ugali alafu rudi ukae hapa. Utaona? It's very serious. It's a serious machine. Kama posho meal. So for me, you do what you like. For me, I try to do 3 things. 1, no blue light. So you de-escalate. Number 1, if you have to drink any water, drink it an hour before you sleep. Ndio itoke. TV, turn off mapema some hours before you sleep. Then you go to sleep. You will enjoy the sleep. When 4 o'clock comes and you hear the alarm. Now this is the part I want you to listen to. Si ulisema kesho unaamka unasomea exams, ndio? Alarm imelia. You know what you need to do? Jump out of the bed, toka hata usiargue, toka tu kwa hiyo bed, tafuta hata ka socks hivi, uende kwa maji uoshe, especially if you can do something with your hands. Because when you do that, it wakes up every part of your system. Huyu anaamka, huyu pia anaamka, because you have jumped out. with young people in mind. So if it's something you really want, but let me add maybe one last thing here. If you want to beat depression, also check what you eat. Also check what? What you eat. There are food for thought. Kuna chakula ambayo inajenga akili. One of the foods will be sunflower seeds. I saw yesterday, they were telling me I don't like pumpkins, but I eat them because I know they have good things. I mean, spinach, a lot of things you need to just eat. So usikue unakula tu sukuma wiki peke yake. And you guys can grow spinach down here. You can know soybeans, very good. Amaranth, anybody knows amaranth? Amaranth ni nini kwa Kijaluo? Odo, very good for your brain. You need to know iron is good for ladies. You know, when you are in your menses, iron deficiency is one of the reasons why you feel tired. So when you get iron, you need to know tomatoes and cashew. Those are things you can get. Then there's something called choline and betaine. Choline is good for improving memory and focus. So even you need to know how to eat for your brain. See, another exam, you must get some, again, spinach shows up there. Beetroot, you know, vitu kama hizo. I don't want to talk more about this. Let me show you how foods that will affect your brain. Mtu ambaye ameamua bado anapenda nyama ya anything. Just listen to me. This is now not health message. I'm telling you, this is brain message. Akili haitadevelop vizuri as long as there's still a flow of something called arachidonic acid into your body. Arachidonic acid comes from eggs and all meat products. So naona Mungu akasema mapema nyinyi mmekuamilia ni sawa. Also you need to know your best source of brain carbohydrates. Brain carbohydrates will come from grains, nuts and vegetables. Some of you will later be tempted into alcohol. I am telling you, alcohol will wipe away your frontal lobe. Nicotine ni nini? Hii inapatikana kwa sigara. Siku hizi hakuna sigara, ukienda high school kuna vape. Siku na mtu alikuja hapa na amesema tuwaongeleze juu ya drug and sijui what. Utasikia watu na vape. Now that is what BAT, I don't know whoever, those guys who produce cigarette. Today they know it is not cool to do cigarette, isn't it? So they produce some vape, yani so mtu anakuambia it just inhale, you think it's just an inhaler. Kumbe ndani ni nicotine, the same thing that was in cigar. Is your frontal lobe. Frontal lobe ikienda chini utaona depression inaenda chini. Caffeine is found in what? Number 1. Tea, coffee, Coca-Cola, chocolate. No wonder caffeine. Caffeine is bad for your brain. I even did that. I found a study the other day that was saying watu wenye wamekunywa coffee mingi, they are more likely to gossip. That was a nice one. So the other things that you want to avoid is cocaine, heroin. This is a big problem in this country. Sivyo? Marijuana. Unajua marijuana? Bangi. Alafu mtu anakudanganya eti, oh, it makes you bright. Up to now, as I teach this lesson, I know 4 20-year-olds when you walianza ku-experiment na marijuana saa hii wako Madare, it didn't take them 2 years. The research shows that it takes you an average of 5 years to clear marijuana from your system by just taking 1 sip. 4 years, do you talk a lot? Well, friends, good food will not just give you good mood, but it will also give you a good brain. The last thing I want to tell you is deal with addictions. Addictions can be substance, addiction ingine ni pornography. Nikawaonyesha ile siku tulikuwa tunaongea juu ya sex. Pornography will reduce your brain. But there's an addiction I must talk about inaitwa mobile phone addiction. And I want to start by reading a research. Then I let you decide. Then I sit down. Kama kuna swali, iandike, tutajibu baada ya joint session. This is Mercury University. This is a high-ranking university. They did a research on smartphones. What did they say? Let's read together. Neuroscience research shows that smartphones are making us, read the word, stupider, less social, more forgetful, more prone to addiction, sleepless and depressed, and poor at navigation. So poor at navigation inamaanisha una fail exam na juu umekuwa mtu wa social media, akili haiwezi jua kwa nini nilianguka hii mtihani, let me make a change, unaenda unajiua. Let me continue reading. This is another university. Now the Atlantic reported and said, the arrival of smartphones has radically changed every aspect of teenagers' life. From the way they interact socially, their mental health. These changes have affected young people everywhere. This was written in America, but it affects everywhere, everyone in the whole globe. Rates of teen depression and suicide have skyrocketed since which year? 2011. Question, why is it 2011? I'll answer that. It's not an exaggeration. When I say iGen, the generation of iPhone and iWatch and social media, when I write iGen, they are on the brink. Brink means wako karibu kuanguka kwa shimo. Shimo ya the worst mental health crisis in decade. Much of this deterioration can be traced to their fathers. Can you read, man? Much of this deterioration can be traced to their what? And your parents are still happy to. If I had a child, let me tell you what I would do. I would not give my child a phone until age 18. Why? Because of the effect of the phone on the frontal lobe. But this thing that I'm teaching you is not the phone alone. Paul did a good treatise on this subject. That's why I'm not going back to it. Day one, we talked about it. It's not just the mobile phone. It is the social media that is inside. TikTok, tuk-tuk, and all the nonsense. Number two, the TV, the series you follow, televised sports, Arsenal and Man U and all the nonsense. I am telling you, those things will just reduce your influence, will reduce. I used to watch football like crazy. But today, I don't even have a television in my house. See, if I can't afford, I don't have. But listen, why is 2011 the date when teenage depression started going up? The answer is this. The twin rise of, read for me, the smartphone and all those things came in 2012. That's where Facebook began and smartphones were given to everybody. Those two things, smartphone, nanani, social media, they have caused an earthquake of magnitude you don't see in a very long time if ever. There is compelling evidence that you will be reading, man. There is compelling evidence that the devices we place in young people's hands are having profound effect on their lives and making them. Here's the conclusion. I read the unhappy one. When I say teens, let's start from here. Teens who spend more time than average on screen activities are more likely to be unhappy. And those who spend more time than average on non-screen activity, hiyo ni nini, kuruka kamba, kwenda nje, studio, kudrive, I don't know what, those teens are more likely to be happy. Here's the advice, take it or leave it. And me, I'm going to Nairobi. Wewe uishi maisha yako, kama mjinga na hiyo simu yako, but you can also be wise. If you go to the phone, you must look for Andrew and Ogal, the Edifier and Hope Channel and all the good media that will grow your brain, isn't it? Yes. I once did a series on Hope Channel called Twists and Turns of Teens. A very good program. You can look for it. They say there's no single exception. All screen activities are linked to less happiness. Parents, let me talk to you. If you work on a screen, if your work is not a teacher or me who works with cables and things like that, if your work is an accountant, you watch the screen, even you are affected. Let me pause here and ask you children or young people, are your parents also addicted to the screen? Yes. The phone? Yes. Now, that is the biggest weakness. Because, you know, as Adventists, we like burying our heads in the sand. So, baba mwenye anafaa kupeana example, you want your children to read. Wewe hujawahi onekana na kitabu. How will we know reading is important? Wewe unaingia kwa simu kama, au unaingia kwa nyumba kama umediosi nini? News. and you think you're sophisticated. I am telling you, you are setting precedents that every time I don't have anything to do, screen. But the result is this. If you are working on a screen, me what I do, sometimes I work on the screen, I have to do reports and all that. At the end of the hour, 40 minutes on the screen, 20 minutes I take a walk, I meet people, I talk. Don't stay on the screen for longer than 45 minutes continuous. It doesn't matter whether you are reading, and today there's a lot of nonsense. Sahi mmetumiwa assignment kwa simu. Everything kwa simu. Saa iko kwa simu. Pesa iko kwa simu. Everything. It's a necessary level. But you must control it. Listen, they say all non-screen activities are linked to more happiness. If you, this is the last of it. If you are going to give advice for a happy adolescent, based on this survey, it will be straightforward. Read that advice. It says, put down, soma kama advice ya mtu mkubwa. Put down the phone, turn off the laptop, and do something. Anything that
turn that thing off. Put it away. Put it.
And the Kenny Swali, the last session as we end this conference, is the most important. Let me tell you what I came to do today. I came to show you that could be depressed. Did you realize you could be depressed?
Yes.
Now what are we ujui, sindio? You know you can be depressed now ujui. Lakini umeona. So, wait, hold on before you talk. The second part. I have shown you certain things that you can do to reduce stress. Sindio? Can you list for me some that you picked can reduce stress? Number one? Exercise. Number two? Nutrition. Nice. So you choose what you eat. Number three? Sleep. Number four? Number four? Prayer. Sindio? Is that what you said? Yeah, prayer. Number five? These guys are good. Even journaling, writing your feelings. Sindio? Writing your feelings. That also helps. What, something else? Reducing addiction. Sindio? Punguza masaa kwa simu. Na Mungu awabariki. Na Mungu awabariki. Or the totals zako ni 20 and above. Can I pray for George to start? Please stand. So, there's a question? Nice. I would want to take questions, but I want you to write them. I want you to write them so that when I come back, we deal with there were 2 or 3 more questions, oh God. We can see if we find time for them, but I want you to give your best to this session. I know we started late, but just give us some time. We will be done. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for directing our minds on how to keep them healthy. Thank you because you care for us. Now we ask, as you sharpen our minds, make us intelligent, make us to excel like Daniel. And I pray that you will make stars out of this team. Bless George as he opens this subject, that you will flow with inspiration and power from you. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Those are things you can do in the morning, just do many. Let's count 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Good. And Sadi. This thing. It is bringing its head. It's bringing its head. Good morning. God is good. And all the time. I am glad to be here. Are you happy to be here? Yes. This is the last part of our presentations. And I
think I am most passionate about this. And our subject of study this hour is called excellence. There are people who are so excellent around us, we cannot help associating with them. By the way, when someone excels in the exams, we go and lift them. Mshaona mtu akiwa amepita mtihani and they are number 1. Si mnaenda mnawainua juu. And people start giving testimonies. This was my desk mate. This was my bedmate. Si ndio? Lakini yule mtoto ambaye amepata E, omera pekma katamana loti endo kinyalo weyo. Item unajaribu kumuinua tu hivi. They cannot leave the ground. No one will ever carry someone who does not succeed in life. So we must cultivate the skills of excellence. And I want to begin this presentation with a story. How many of us love stories? I also do. So there was a beautiful girl. No, this girl is not just beautiful. This is the kind of girl I describe as an absolutely drop-dead, gorgeous and voluptuously cutesy girl. Maybe I should repeat that. This girl was absolutely drop-dead, gorgeous and voluptuously cutesy. So this girl had attracted the attention of 4 men. 4 men wanted this girl to marry them. Now, one man was a hunter. The second one was a fisherman. The third one was a singer. And the fourth was a doctor. How many men? Mention them. Hunter, fisherman, singer. Excellent. Now, this absolutely drop-dead gorgeous lady had gone to wash her clothes in the river. As she was busy washing, a crocodile attacked her and threw her into the water so that it could make lunch out of her. Now the 4 men, because they had been following this lady, they hid somewhere in the bushes. So when the 4 men saw that their beautiful lady has been thrown into the water, each of them took time to express their love by saving her from the water. Are we following the story? So the first person who expressed his affection was the singer. When the singer saw the girl being dragged into the water, he said, I want to do something to confuse the crocodile. Then he started singing, my love for you, big, bigger, biggest. Hey, my heart for you, do that, this. If you leave me, I will cry. Hey, yes. For you I sing. That song was so sweet that the crocodile could not help but to release the what? The girl. When the crocodile had just released the girl, it was time for the hunter. He pulled his poisoned arrow and he aimed an arrow at the crocodile's eye and he shot it. Bah! And the crocodile fell, it collapsed and released the girl from its mouth. Then it was the time for the fisherman who knew how to swim. And he swam, and he swam, and he swam. And he went after the crocodile had died. He took the lady and brought her out of the what? Of the water. Are we still following? Then the last guy who is left is who? Now the doctor, after the swimmer, the fisherman has brought the lady to the shore. It was the time for the doctor to administer medication. An injection here, a capsule here, some balm here, and he treated the lady and the lady was restored to good health. Now we have a question. Out of the 4 men, who deserves to marry this woman? Hey, who deserves to marry the woman? The singer, the hunter, the doctor, or the fisherman? Who should marry the lady? The singer. Why? Because he did what? Now talk to me. You call Chemu? Huh? KOJWACH. Who should marry the lady?
The sailor.
Why?
Because she is the one who rescued the girl.
Really? But it is the fisherman who brought her off. Now, we can all argue this question, but you will realize that the 4 men each played an important role in saving the woman. Is that true? Now, when you are valuable, when you are excellent, everyone wants to own you. When you appear on television and you are someone who is excellent, you say, hey, kanisa LWANDA, mano ya kanisa wa, right? Because you are what? Excellent. So we cannot say who should marry this woman. Each of them deserves to marry, but the girl is so excellent that all of us want to associate with them. People who are excellent are those who command the attention of men. And we want to ask in this presentation for just 30 minutes, what are some of these skills that make people excellent? You are trying to study, but you are sweating like an idiot. Have you seen someone who says they went to the exam and the exam snubbed them? Hey, your exam imenifanyia character development. Yani, you have gone to study, you have gone to do an exam. Now, the bright students are saying, they are arguing whether the answer was 78.4 or 7.84. Lakini wewe saa hizo ulipata 294.26 times 10 raised to negative 46. This lesson requires 2 sessions, but I will talk about excellence from within. That before we go to school, before we go to class, there is what we need to do on ourselves. Who knows the motto of Mangu High School? Mangu High School. The motto is Jishinde Ushinde. Fanya nini? Jishinde, sema tena, jishinde. Now before we succeed in class, we must succeed elsewhere. Is that true? So I want to talk about internal success before we go to academic excellence. Because if you don't work on yourself at home, even if you go to school, you will still not succeed. So that's why I want to ask us, what are some of these things that make excellent teenagers, excellent students, excellent persons, the people we admire who are also excellent? But success in academics is just one of the elements of excellence. So we need to know, what is it that we did? At this age, I'm not 40. I have some years to hit 40, and I am done with education. Hello? I will no longer sit in any class to do an exam. I did my primary, I did my secondary, I did my primary, secondary, then you go to university. I did my undergraduate. I went to university. I went back there. I did my master's. I went back there. I did my PhD. So it is called permanent head what? Permanent head damage. I will no longer sit any exam. What made Sam to be an engineer that he is? What made Andrew to be an engineer that he is? It is the sum of some habits. We call them atomic habits, that when you begin to practice, your life is going to be better. And we are doing this because our Lord Jesus Christ, we also told, let's read that verse, and Jesus increased that when you are wise, you are going to, and God, no one wants to associate with failures. So I want us to also read one thing exhorted by Sister White, and she's saying, dear youth, what is the aim and the purpose of your life? When you are here in Nyamangaria, when you are here in Ringa, when you are here in KOJWACH, when you are here in Njura, what is the purpose? Are you ambitious for education? that you may have a name and position in the world. How many of us want to have a name in this country? How many want to have a name? It is good to have a name. Sawa sawa. We must be known beyond LWANDA SDA Church. Have you thought that you dare not express that you may one day stand upon the summit of intellectual greatness, that you may sit in deliberative and legislative councils and help to enact the laws of the land? There is nothing wrong with these aspirations. You may, every one of you, make your mark. You should be content with no mean attainments. And the one in the green, can you read it? Do what? Aim high and spare no pains to reach the standard. That means if you are in primary right now, you should start thinking of how you will go to secondary. You should think of the university you will go to. You should think of whether you go for masters and go for those higher degrees. And you must make a mark in your community. Bwana asifiwe. I showed you this photo. This is where we begin. And today, by the way, this thing means this. This one means day one. Say day one. Day one. This one means one day. Hello? One day. And it happened for these guys like Maraga. It happened for this guy, Ben Carson. There's a lady I want to introduce you to. Who knows this lady? Hey, yes, what is the name? Oprah Winfrey. Now, Oprah Winfrey is one lady who is among the most influential women in the world. And she is one of the richest. She hosts a talk show. She's a TV producer, an actress, a CEO of a multimedia production company. She is an author of many books. She is also a philanthropist. You know a philanthropist? Someone who helps the poor. If you work hard, you will help the poor. If you don't work hard, you will be saying this. When I grow up, I want to help the poor, but you will grow up and realize you are that poor person who should be helped. Oh, yes. So, she's also a news anchor. But when you delve into this lady's story, you realize that she did not make it easily. She went through a problem and a process of being refined. She is excellent, yes, but she passed through certain challenges that we also go through, and she was born to a housemaid. You are lucky. Your mom is not a housemaid, is she? Is your mom a maid? Mom out. She is not. This lady was brought up in abject poverty, and she was molested and abused. She was traumatized, and at the age of 14, she got pregnant. She was raped by a cousin. And later in life, she was again raped successfully by a family friend. And she got pregnant at the age of 14. And her son died prematurely. But today we see Oprah Winfrey, a lady who is shining with all that glamour. And we are saying, what manner of success is this? And she teaches us one thing, that don't waste your pain. When you are in pain, make something out of your what? Your pain. There are some of us who despair so easily. The fact that you've been sent from school, you've been sent from school. Now you are cursing everybody. Make that reason the only reason that you are not going to allow your children to go to that life. Kid, you cannot put on decent pair of shoes. Make it. Swear that your children will never walk barefooted. Bwana asifiwe. So she turned her pain into gain, and today she is someone that we admire. There are steps to cultivate excellence, and the first step is put first things again. Yes. First things first. People who are excellent, people who command the attention of men, people whom we admire in this church, in this community, and in this country, they know what we call priorities. Every day you wake up, there's a list of things you need to do, right? But you know there are some of us who wake up and when the day ends, they have squandered their time. It is because they didn't put first things first. There are lists of things you need to do. And There are things, the ones in red, they are called urgent and what? Important. Right now, for any student, for you to cultivate excellence, you are supposed to have done your holiday assignment. Of course, you came home on Wednesday or Thursday. Sawa. We will excuse you. But the most important thing right now is to concentrate on your holiday assignment. Senor, there are things that are urgent and important. There are things that are not urgent, but they are important. Your assignment is important. Your health is urgent and important. Physical exercise is urgent and important. But some of us do not begin with things that are important. You get home and the first thing you want to confirm, Dad, subscription ya Wi-Fi umefanya. Sindio? You, Ba. Oh. Ba. Pastor, ogole na ngoja. Ba. It says subscribe Wi-Fi. You have just gone home. Your priorities are wrong. People who succeed in life, let me tell you, when I was going to school, number one thing I gave priority was academics. Katana kuwa diek, katana kuwa rombe, whatever it is I was doing, even my mind. You see that topic in biology, the dichotomous key. Munaikumbuka? My mind was always having the top priority that when I see a goat eating blackjack, I am asking whether this leaf is by pinnate or whether it is pinnate or angoa. Give me the types of leaves. Sema, Don't say pinnate by pinnate. Say another one.
Imperipinnate.
Tell na pinnate. Tell na net. Tell na net.
Compound leaf.
Compound leaf. Tulisahau. Tululu.
Simple.
Simple leaf. Types of leaves. And there are people who wake up and the first thing they give priority is TikTok. It drains you. And Andrew has told you when you wake up, you need to ensure that you cloud your mind with the right content. You are there, even the music you are listening to, it's just draining your energy. Wake up. I will tell you about how to command your morning. First things first. How do you do this? When you wake up, ensure you have a daily what? Read that. A day. When I am done with the English assignment, the next thing I am going to do is to wash my clothes. Are you following? And you write them down. After I have washed my clothes, I want to call Aunt Winnie and ask about ABCD. Then after that, I will take a walk to Ringa Market and buy that item. You write your activities in order of priority. Then by the end of the day, you will review that day. How will you feel when you go through the list? You wrote that you will do comprehension in English paper 2 and you check, done. You wrote that you will wash your clothes and iron them. You check, done. You wrote that you will call so and so. You check, done. How do you feel? Unasikia aje? You feel so good because you have accomplished. You just wake up, you have no schedule, you have no priorities. Every time I wake up and go to the office where I work, I don't do anything until I pull out my diary and I say, today I am marking a few scripts. Then I will follow up with that client. Today I am calling Andrew. I want to design this poster. Everybody must plan our day and we can all plan our day. Is that possible? Is that possible? That is how to instill the culture of discipline and excellence. Discipline is a product of atomic habits. So do that. Another thing you must do for you to be an excellent teen, you must have your boundaries. You know very well that you are doing the assignment and someone comes with Moshene. Hello? You are told about the scoring index, the friends that you need to keep close. Sawa sawa? Na kuna wengine mliambiwa ya kwamba when they come, you need even to pretend that you are busy. I'm just doing something here. Tupatane baadaye. Si ndio? Boundaries. We must have our boundaries, physical and emotional. Boys, they fall for things that they see and touch. Girls, you, people who lie to you, the ones who pretend to be kind and they have good words and they flatter you, have your boundaries that this time I should not be found along this road, that this time I am doing this. And talking about distractions, there's something that has come up. It is called hookup culture. Yani huyu anakupea boyfriend na huyu anakupea boyfriend na mnaenda mnafanya vitu. Mshasikia gari inaitwa nganya? Mnajua nganya? Nganya. Ukianganya, unaona ile gari inakuwa na muziki ingine ni sana ambayo iko pimped. Just a minute. Amojaona hii gari? Niwaonyeshe nganya, si ndio? Ilonga ni hook up. Poko neno gari machalo kama nigga, I don't want nigga, na. Kisumu girls wanaingia na. Sasa gari machalo kama mmeiona ile muziki iko ndani ya hiyo gari. And hii ni nganya kweli. Na ukiingia hapo ndani kuna bangi, kuna sex, kuna nini and all that. Hookup culture is a distraction for girls. Let me tell you, education is a very shy character. The moment you accept to be distracted by all these things, and in this nganya, ebona hii shock as 35 secondary school students nabbed with drinks, drugs, and snuff. Standard 2013. Shock as students smoke, bang, drink booze on bars. That is Daily Nation 2020. People are doing things here. No wonder unatumua fare, you don't want to use the normal transport. Munaingia kwa kundi, munaingia kwa nganya. My friend, you cannot be excellent when you allow yourself to be what? To be distracted. This is, let me go back to that slide where you, excellence, cultivating excellence. Yes, you can't. Please know that you have priorities, and what you are doing now is education. A time will come. Some of those things that you are doing inside the sugarcane plantation, a time will come when you are married. Listen, you will enjoy it. And your mother will know you're doing it. And your pastor will know you're doing it in the best manner. They're asking you, hello, hi, how is everything? My friend. This is what goes on. And in that distraction of the hookup culture, people go to parties. There are people who just attend party after party after party. Form ni gani? Mahali kuna tent na unaingia tu ushaanza dadadang. Munaingia si ndio? Ushawekewa kitu. You cannot be excellent if you are someone who is so easily available. Kila wakati unapatikana. Sometimes you need to miss certain events to save your life. Bwana asifiwe. You must not be found everywhere. We are excellent because we chose not to attend certain events. These are events that will ujinga. Blind dates. Ati munafunikiwa hapa, alafu someone comes anakukatia and munaingia box na hata humjui. Ukifungua tu nini sura tu hii, my friend, sura inakaa kama ya mburukenge. You shall say you are okay with them. In buses and bars and pool party and the dance, don't be distracted because of issues that we had said. Now look at all of these things. Andrew, someone was asked to define a cigarette. Do you know how to define a cigarette? And he said this way, that a cigarette is a roll of what? Tobacco, yes. A cigarette is a roll of tobacco with fire on one side and an idiot on the other side. Did you hear that? A roll of tobacco with fire on one side and an idiot on the other what? If you want to go mad, if you want to die young, if you want to perform poorly in a someone lied to you that you can chew marijuana and you can take cigarettes and you can take all these things because they are enemies of progress. Are we learning? Are we learning? Anyone who wants to achieve success must get there because of what we call drug babies. Mnakumbuka ile thermometer ya corona? Mnaikumbuka? Ile unaenda kuangalia nini temperature. So unaipeleka hivi, instead ya kukuambia temperature is 34 degrees, unamwambia idiot. Ona hiyo. Idiot Pro Max. And the people who did this, there was a guy, we were with him in grade 7. No, a lady. And she was so easily deducted. In fact, last month I was at home. And I was surprised to hear that this lady has a grandchild. And she's my age mate. She has a grandchild and she's my age mate. We were with her in class 8, 2004. And she has a child who is moronic. In fact, mage mokomanela othum, mane dioregi mira, itienya bende. Now she gave birth to a child who is moronic. Kichwa ni kubwa kama ndoo, lakini haina kitu. Ushaona yule umechwero thenyo. Moronic babies, memory loss. They cannot contain anything. The problem of success today is memory loss. The memory is so porous. Ushasikia mtoto anafanya homework. What are you saying? Because of drugs, low cognitive performance. They can't even write their name well. You cannot be excellent with the drugs. Drowsiness. People are always sleeping. They are fishing. Low self-esteem and confusion. Andrew was talking about you are confused, you are so forgetful, you are forgotten that there is something you have forgotten somewhere. Then you remember it. Then you set out to go and pick it. Sindio? When you get to the house, you forget that you have you have just remembered that you forgot. The reason why the memory cannot retrieve content is because drugs interfere with what we call neurotransmitters. Now, access is denied. This brain here has a lot of disks. Hello? Computer students, mnaelewa? There are disks. Information is retrieved from this disk to this disk to this disk. But when you take drugs, unajaribu ku retrieve kitu naambiwa access denied. How do we become excellent? The next thing is this. What do we call this? Someone? For you to be excellent. For you to be someone that we can clap for. For you to be someone who can attain heights. And we say, Jokanganeto is a good guy. And we love the way he does his things. You need this skill. What is this? Can someone try? What skill is this? The one that this boy is showcasing. Yes. Leadership, good trial. What else is this? Look at the background and look at the boy. There's a skill, a very important one. Yes. Courage. Someone can put it in a slightly better way. We are almost there. Yes, it is a variant of courage. What do you call it? What do you call it? This is called self-confidence. Let me tell you this. The people who are successful are not the smartest people. They are just people who have known who they are and they are confident about self-expression and they are confident about what they want in this life. All the students, is that true? Is that true? That by just raising my hand and asking that teacher, excuse me teacher, I didn't understand what you mean by the word enthalpy. That confidence goes a long way in helping you to improve your chemistry, right? People who are excellent are those ones who can stand before others. They don't cower, they don't slouch, they don't walk like their posture is just okay. When they stand here to make an announcement or read the mission psychology of your confidence attracting people to come and help you because we know you are someone who wants to be helped. Bwana asifiwe. You must be confident. A firm handshake, eye contact, voice projection. You don't stand there like there's some teachers when they stand at the assembly, you can't even hear what they're saying. Good morning. Good morning. Now, this week, Mr. Onyango and I will be on duty. And what we want is maximum cooperation. Maximum what? You want what? Listen, if you want to be excellent, stand before people and express yourself. Acha kuangalia chini. Simama hivi. Project your voice. Have that self-confidence. I had told you that when you want to be confident, you must whisper to yourself what we call affirmations. Things that are positive. Unajiambia ya kwamba, I have been told to lead a group discussion and I am able. I am going to do it. Do not at any point ask this question. Nitaanza aje? Kai, adi chako nango. When you ask that question, adi chako nango, you are going to fail. Why? Because the system is going to be told, this guy cannot make it. This is cultivated when we believe in our abilities. I know what I can do. I know what I cannot do. But the little that I know, I am confident about it. You become confident when you accept your limits. And this is very important. You should know that this is what I can do. This one I cannot do. But the one that I am very well able in. For example, I'll give you my own story. I was so confident, but maths was a problem. So one time when we did the pre-registration exam, I did my KCSE in 2008. And it was just after the post-election violence. I know most of us, we just read that in history. So, it was bad. So when I went there, I transferred from a school called LWANDA. I did my KCSE at a place called Karabuk. And the people had performed very poorly. I used to score 06 in mathematics. And there was a lady teacher of maths. She used to pinch me. You know, when you're being pinched by a lady teacher, when I say, hey, George, hii hesabu ya kienyeji sitaki. Na mimi kwa nikiambia nichune tena, ananichuna vitamu ma. So, tukafanya hiyo hesabu. There was something I was very confident about. Are we learning? And there was this sum, ile ya survey. Unajua ile survey ya form 1. Ile unachora hivi, una branch huko Nyamangaria, unarudi hivi Njura, unaenda Ringa Central, then you calculate the area in acres. Mnaielewa? I was confident about that. I did it very well and I scooped 10 marks. And then out of these other ones, I kidnapped a few marks here and there. And I got 38 plus 10, 48 in a class of 67. For the first time, I was the best. The teacher brought the papers to class and he arranged them from the last to the first. Na anakupa karatasi, na anakupa dos. Umi toyanyi. Yunita nyango, miala manatume korgweng. Collins Ochola, tero manamone korgweng. Omera alitutusi, akatutusi. Then he got to my paper. They said, yes, clap for this man. Way! In my heart, I'm celebrating. Today, they're going to clap for an idiot. Today, an idiot is going to be number 1. And that is how I changed my attitude through confidence that when there's something you know, maximize on it and give it your best. Bwana asifiwe. That you need to be confident about what you know, your abilities, and you also need to know your limitations. Self-confidence, you also need to be assertive. But let me tell you this. Guys, when you see us doing some of the things we do, we are not doing them because life is easy. You stand up and you seek opportunity. Guys in high school and guys in colleges, there are opportunities that are there, but you must get out and look for them. Be assertive. Make things happen. Don't wait for someone to bring food at your doorstep. No one will do that. Be assertive. Be proactive. You become excellent when you make things happen, and then you reward yourself. For example, when you are doing a sum, you are doing some maths, and the maths is difficult, but you have navigated and confirmed that you have got the answer. Si unajilipa. And buy yourself an ice cream, it boosts your self-esteem and your self-confidence because of the release of what we call serotonin and those other happiness hormones. And we are talking about keeping a productive company that makes you feel that you are confident and you become excellent. The next thing that will make you an excellent person. Hatujaingia shuleni, we are still at home. We are still everywhere general. Sawa sawa? The thing that makes you excellent. The person who scores an A in biology started by being excellent somewhere in the whole. Is food? How is that food? How is that food? Now stop salivating. Thou shalt not covet. How is that food? Even the way it is presented, how is it? Do we cook like this? Because there's something my mom would slap you. She would slap you if she found you cooking in a kitchen that has not been swept. You know, we used to have kitchens where going in the kitchens, you know, that kitchen is used for poultry and it's the place where you cook. Now she finds you cooking ugali or preparing porridge, but you have pushed the droppings. You have just pushed them aside. You will know. She was teaching us what we call diligence. There are some of us who are not thorough in what we are doing. Now look at this other food. What is that? What is this? Koro itedo nam Girls, boys, listen. I want to tell you this. Anybody who succeeds in life becomes diligent and becomes thorough in the little things of this life. It doesn't begin in school. It is a matter of internal victory. This is the food that we call aquatic. This is aquatic food. Very aquatic. And then you bring this, and then you even have the guts to pray to God. Oh God, thank you for the food which we are about to receive. Which food? You should say thank you for the swamp. Now, whatever it is you are doing, whether it is sweeping the floor, whether it is washing your clothes, whether it is ironing your clothes, put your heart, put your mind, put your attention to it. Because if you are thorough at home, you are going to be thorough in school. Is that true? Yes. Is that true? Yes. So be thorough. We are told by this guy, Albert Hubbard, he says that thoroughness characterizes all successful men. Busoma hapa. All great achievement, care, infinite painstaking, even to the what? Minutest details. Minutest. That people who are excellent, they have got to that level because they were serious and they were thorough about anything, including even how you speak. Even your English must be refined. One time I was cutting for some lady. You didn't get that. You didn't get that. You didn't get that. You didn't. I was cutting for some lady, but her English was on flight mode. That lady embarrassed me. Now we are talking, oh, I'm already charmed by her beauty. And then I'm saying, anyway, who cares? If the lady was not thorough with the language, I cares. Oh, I cares. She embarrassed me. Be thorough. Even if it means you are which kama. Big Mark, he will serve before kings and not before mean what? Men. Did my coach? You have washed her clothes, but when ukiinua hivi, this place is yellow. Umeambiwa uoshe shati ya dadi. Ukiona hapa, this is the place that gets dirty kwa shati sana, sindio? You can still see lines and lines of that. Tijasa muoyo, and you do this and you leave that. Ukona wasiwasi. If you cannot be thorough in whatever you do at home, even in that physics, you are not going to be thorough. You cannot. So we are saying this. You must be thorough in everything and put your heart and attention to whatever you are doing. You are reading a comprehension, and ensure you read and reread and extract. Don't be too fast and too shallow and too impatient. Some of us are given exams, and now we think because we are children of Thara. Sasa unapewa hesabu ufanye na unaambiwa look at that idiot. Kuna ingine. Look at this person. Unaambiwa say what this and what. Unasema Jesus is always the what? Idiot. People who are excellent are people who pay attention to everything. I was talking to Andrew, by coincidence, Andrew and Sam and Pastor God, they all went to the same high school called Kanga. And they tell me that Kanga High School has a culture of mathematics. And they would not know what they would score in English and physics and chemistry, but they knew that no one would score less than 98. Question, I will reread it, I will do it, I will not stop until I have the answer. Praise the Lord. Be thorough. Tell your friend, be thorough. Coach. Apana, you cannot be excellent in anything if you do not become thorough. So refuse to be mediocre. Just whatever it is you are doing. I am teaching you simple things. Sawa sawa? To be mediocre means you are average. Duster. Kuna mtu anaambiwa apige duster. What's wrong with you? Unapiga duster from outside ukiingia nayo ndani. Refuse to be of a mountain. Mediocrity means a compromise of attributes and potential. And then almost every human being, that's what we call theory X. Theory X means we gravitate towards the cause of least action. We don't want to do something. We want something that makes us so comfortable. Let me tell you this. Success does not come easily. We must feel a bit uncomfortable about it, but we must get out of our way to be diligent. Are we learning? Are we learning? For you to be successful, again, for you to be excellent, my friend, you must be obedient to good counsel. Tell your friend, KOJWACH. KOJWACH. The people who guide us, the teachers. Have you had some students who think that some teachers don't know how to teach? Mwaisikia? Mr. Chola ajui kufunza bio. Let me ask you, when did you ever go to a teaching college? Ulienda teachers college. So you have the methodology. You know how teachers should teach. Akifunza ananibo, you're the one who is boring. In fact, your brain is boring. It is porous. Accept to be corrected. We are living at a time at this age when we have our brains developing. The prefrontal cortex has not fully developed, so we only make erratic and irrational decisions. Some of us cannot make good decisions because we are still young. People who are excellent are those who accept to be corrected. My mom had a curfew in our home, and there are things that have helped me to come this far because of obedience to my parents. Now look at this guy. Kolong yokany. Ong yokany. Huh? Na naambiwa. Judy sikia. Mama sitaki kusikia. Amunielewi. Sindio? You think that you know more than your mom. It is the parent, it is the teacher, it is the church leader who shapes your life, and they tell you this is what is good for you. Why are we saying this? At this age, we are likely to rebel because of the emotional repercussions of adolescence. Some of us in adolescence, and we feel that we desire autonomy. I want to do my things alone. Can you do your things alone? Hata saa you can be 18 or 17. Now you have pocket money that is excess. The baby is crying and you're also crying. Sasa nifanye nini? Na pia wako imbi wako jitenda rio wako to denyo. That's adolescence. Desire for autonomy. We cannot really regulate ourselves fully. We must be told, you cannot come to this house later than 7. You cannot leave this house if you don't know where you are going. Hello? Are there some families that have been told like that? You can't leave this place. And you think that is being so harsh on you. It is not true. I want to tell you this. You must listen to your mother. You must listen to your father. Listen to the church leaders, because people who are successful must be guided. Bwana asifiwe. Yes, repercussions of adolescence. We lack experience, and we said this in our sermon. Don't need to continue. And that's why we are saying that this part of the brain that we use to make decisions, that we call the prefrontal cortex, because it is not fully developed right now, we ask for things using irritability. Nimesema nataka. Kama sio sahihi naitaka jana. Wewe. Stop being children. Wacha utoto. Listen and be guided. When you tell your dad, nataka hii, akikataa muelewe, because hana nini? Hana pesa wakati huo. Some of us, we just solve things using tearfulness and anger, anxiety, frustration, risky behaviors, and emotional outburst. So we are just like this. Even the Bible tells us that Let me ask you, now when you see us, do you aspire to be like any of us? Talk to me. Do you aspire to be like any of us? Do you know we went through a life of discipline? One time my mom beat me thoroughly. The reason why I don't like football. I was in Form 1 and we were playing village football. We live in a forested area, so we have a lot of firewood. For the first time, I saw my mom cooking using a jiko. Hey, leo kimeumana. I was told to go and fetch firewood, but I went and played until it was night time. Mom went to the market and brought food, and she could not find firewood, na akaanza kupika na nini? Na makaa. Mimi ndiye huyu nimekuja, Messi amekuja, si ndio? Messi amefika, anaitwa nani yule mwana yule mtu wa mpira? Anyone you know wa football? Ukiajogi, mtu wa mpira mnajua nani? Yes, Mama Mbappe. My mom had a way of making you feel the punishment. Nikaingia tu hivi, nikakaa tu vizuri, hakuniongelesha. It was the same house she was cooking in. So after I have settled, si kiongozi amefika, manager amefika, semekuja kwa nyumba yake. Nikasikia tu mlango imefanywa pa. And then she came. Ibikanye. Another thing, diek bene okagonyo. Eni mo golo diek mokelo nyake yot. My friend, aliniunda. Isene no telo jo madongo. My mom slapped me. But today, when I look back, I say, if she had not given me direction by telling me, no discipline is sweet. But later, it produces a harvest of what? Of righteousness. That when we stand somewhere, you can feel our brains have something. Parents guided us and we listened to them. So be guided. Cultivate obedience by identifying what are the triggers? Aikwambia sitaki huyo boyfriend wako. Skiza. That is the trigger. If it is your laziness, address it. Communicate. You to VBS. Sindio? That when people are being sent home for school fees, you are not sent. And accept the consequences. When you know that you have made a mistake, we are refining you. You must accept the consequences. When you are obedient and you allow yourself to be guided, you become an excellent teen. We are almost done. In 10 minutes, we should be going for the next whatever. So people who are excellent are also people who practice self-care. Self-care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Oga, wanaume, ladies, vaa nguo ile mzuri ya mwana youth. Vaa nguo ambayo it allows you. Don't put on things that suffocate. self-care, your mind, your physical exercise, and everything about yourself. People who succeed in life, I will tell you about the 4 empires that you must build so that we look at you and want to associate with you. A very important skill here is home. I would scan through the lessons we were taught. Nasema, today we have been taught about rhythm. What have we been told rhythm is? The predictable pattern that you can clap to or sing to and dance or even nod your head. Okay, how many ways do we achieve rhythm? I am walking. I say, okay, we have rhyme, we have alliteration, we have assonance, we have consonance, we have repetition, we have onomatopoeia, we have ideophones. I have reviewed my day. Senior, today we learned about narratives. The types of narratives. We said there's ogre, there is etiological, we have myths, we have dilemma, and we have, someone is saying ETC. Hakuna kitu inaitwa ETC. For you to be excellent, you also need to sharpen your axe. Do what? I am finishing. Sharpen your what? Your axe. A story is told of 2 guys who used an axe to cut. He's not cutting. Then Peter says, amenyamaza, amekimya. I want to kimya. I want to cut more and I will defeat him. Then they continue, tong, 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 tong. After 2 hours again, John's axe is not. When the who cut more trees? Is it Peter or John? You have said John. Why? Why John? You are right. Yes. Why John? Who can say why John cut the more trees? We have 7 minutes to close this. Yes? Why John? Yes, my brother there. He sharpened his axe. You know, you can be cutting down trees, but the axe gets blunt. Sawa sawa? And when the axe gets blunt, you are going to use much what? Energy. So John knew that for me to be efficient, I must sharpen my axe. People who are excellent do not just run on their fuel all the time. They must renew their strength. And that is why Andrew has just told you that when you wake up, there are 4 dimensions, 4 domains that you must develop. And they are called 4 empires. That no sooner do you walk out of your bed than you sharpen this aspect called the mental. Unaamka aje. When I wake up, I must work on my mind. I meditate. I give myself positive affirmations. I tell myself, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Now, you appreciate that today I am going to do my best. Today I am going to beat the performance record I had yesterday. Today I am going to do more psalms. This day is going to be good. When you have worked on your mindset through the positive attitude, you attract all the positive things and the happiness hormones are being attracted to you. You must do this. Then you go to the physical. Ensure, as he has told us, you stretch. People who are successful, they pay so much attention to their physical bodies. You stretch. Do something that makes you sweat, because there is a hormone that causes depression, a hormone that causes sadness, a hormone that piles up in our systems. It is called cortisol, the hormone of wake up. Akienda kuoga ananguka na nakufa. For people to just drop dead in the evening. Why? Because the hormone that causes stress is released much more in the morning. So what do? You stretch. Do some push-ups. Do some sit-ups. Spiritual. Don't wake up any day and go to school without having your devotion. Your mommy may have gone to work. Daddy may have gone to work. People who succeed in life, they succeed because of who? Because of who? God. Before you step out of your house, please share a prayer. And then the next thing you must do is you are emotional. Sit down with a journal and write your day activities and ask yourself, what am I thinking about? How did yesterday go? How do I plan? And all those things. Then you can now step out. You can step out of the house. We are almost there. We are almost there. And that journaling, the journaling means that as a successful student, you have a notebook where you write your thoughts. You are writing that today I didn't like the way the teacher treated me. He told me that I am lazy. What do I think about this? It is true. You reduce stress when you journal. You were asking about how you can reduce stress. One way is just to keep a journal. Mommy has said, there's nothing good I will ever do in this house. You know the way your mommy normally talks to you. Mom can walk to me instruction. Onyango, kora walk. I didn't like the way she talked to me. Why? Because I am lazy. The journal helps you to clear your thinking and to solve problems, and it also helps you to track your growth so that you can be creative and be a better communicator. I want to finish with one thing. Do you know how much time Mark Zuckerberg uses on Facebook? 15 minutes. And the company is his. People who are successful, they prefer enlightenment to entertainment. Victims love entertainment. Victims love entertainment, whereas victors prefer enlightenment. The greatest killer of success today is because we do not get time to go away. Just get away. When I am called to go and make a presentation, there's no better way to improve my mental performance than to shut down this laptop, shut down my phone, just to walk downstream and do nothing. It is called therapeutic laziness. Just go to a place where you are alone. The people who have made serious inventions, the boils of chemistry, Albert Einstein named them. The guy who did the gravity, what is his name? Force of gravity, Isaac Newton. Anyone who wrote serious poems, they were successful because they took time to get away and spend time alone. Are we saying something? Just be alone. No phone, no TV, no laptop, no screen. You are going to be excellent because when you go alone, we do something we call you unplug. We are so plugged in. There's a book that is called The Last Child in the Woods. We don't interact with nature. We are always indoors. We are always watching Cocomelon. We are always watching, what do you watch? Series. And you are told that each series, listen, each series has a vice ambayo inaendelezwa in series 2. No wonder it is so addictive. In series 1, walimaliza kama wameshikana, they are almost kissing. Act 2 to see how the kissing went. Sindio? And then Act 2 inaisha inasema, you have not seen the best of me. Amfanya nini? Umesikia guns are being cocked. There is crime. You need to be away. You need to be unplugged. Why? Because social media, screen time and all that kills our intelligence through what we call brain rot. Your brain rots because of trivial content on TikTok, on social media and all that. You are just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it is not something that can edify your brains. People who are successful, some of them are not even on the social media platforms. we can cultivate excellence when we unplug. You must not be found all the time on Facebook, because the neurotransmitters, the nerves of the brain, they develop when you spend the moment alone. Then you think about your future, you think about your past, you think about your present, you become creative, and you can be a genius in academics. Final thing now. There's a story. Pastor Paul, help me bring these things, do the illustration, then we go out of this place. I am passionate about talking to you about success. Have you learned something so far? I've not even touched academics. These ones will help you to have the right attitude. Jishinde ushinde. Why am I telling you about success? Because if you don't succeed today, even God will be annoyed with you. Hello? If you don't succeed today, God will be what? Annoyed. You know, you can say, it is my life. Hello? It is my what? There was a story we used to read in class 6 English. It was saying, Hornbill's problem is Hornbill's problem. Munaikumbuka? But eventually, when the Hornbill died, everyone else did what? If you fail today, everyone in your family and your community fails. So there was a farmer who lived with his wife. And this farmer was poor. And he had in his house, there was a rat. Are we following? We'll be done in 5 minutes, don't worry. There was a rat. So this farmer had a pig and a hen and a cow. I'm telling you what it means to laugh. When you fail, everyone else fails. So one day, the farmer had bought a rat trap. Mnajua otegu? Mnajua rat trap? Rat trap. This is a trap. So the rat ran to these animals. Na kaenda kuambia kuku, Mrs. Hen, please, I have seen the rat trap has been bought and it is targeting my what? My life. Please help me drag it and throw it away so that it does not do what? Does not trap me. But the hen said, excuse me, do I look like a rat? Do I look like I can be scared using a what? A trap. Akamwambia, excuse me, get rara here. Get rara here. The rat was disappointed. Akaenda kwa pig. Madam Pig, please, my life is in danger. I have seen a rat trap and it targets me. Please help me remove it so that we can be safe. Akamwambia, there's nothing I can do, but I am praying for you. Akaenda kwa ng'ombe. Na ng'ombe akamwambia, excuse me, a rat's problem is a rat's what? Problem. Now, the rat walked away devastated and dejected, knowing that he is waiting for his death. That night, the farmer's wife heard some sound of a rat trap having caught something. And because they don't have lights, she walked to the living room, and before she could get far, kumbe the rat trap had caught a snake by its tail. And the snake bit this woman at the ankle. Hapa. Now, the snake was so poisonous. The woman went to the hospital, and the hospital said that the poison here is so much. For us to cure you, we need chicken soup. Are you following? So what happened? The first animal to die was the what? The hen. She continued remaining in the hospital. She did not get so well. Then people were coming to see her, visit her at the hospital, and they needed food. So what happened? They said, Mr. Pig, come and do what? Unfortunately, the woman did not heal. She did not recover. She died. And when she died, we needed food at the funeral. So what happened? Mrs. Cow, come here. More. Eventually, who was safe? Who was safe? What does that tell us? That when someone is not succeeding in life, it affects all of us. And look at it. when you do not succeed, the entire family of yours will fail. Be successful, be excellent in these simple things, and the life of your mother, the life of your father, the life of your sister, the life of your brother, and the people of your community will improve in Jesus' name. I want 2 people to come and we make an illustration here. 2 people, come. 2 people. I said you have confidence. Unakimbia haraka haraka. We want to show you something. Good. The setup is okay? Yes, you can do this. You can remove this. No more talk. I hope you are okay. This is for Danny. This is Danny. Oh, sure. Now, we have 3 sets of substances. What is this? These are large stones. They are kokoto. What is this? This is sand. What is this? Soil. Shika. This is apple. What is this? A glass. Now, look at hapa. Someone can hold for you. We can do it here. Now, what we will do, I want them, we have large stones and soil and sand and water. I want them to fill this glass with all these 4 things. You get the point? So you fill this glass with all the 4 things. They must all fit here. So, what we are doing, we are learning just one lesson on that. Now, remember me, shika easy. Don't mix. Shika easy. Maji yake. Point view this table. Sawa, just move the views. Okay, can you focus? Sawa, remember, take yours. So you have 4 substances. Good. First of all, oh yes, do it at the same time. Oh, sorry. Just on a small lesson there. Good. Weka zako hapa kando. Your glass, your video. And don't compare notes. Don't do what she's doing. Just do yours. I give you 2 minutes. 4 substances. We go. Well, don't laugh. All of them must fit in the same glass. A simple lesson here. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi? Oh, kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga? Acha kwa magia. Ni mchezo hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Ni boyfriend hapana, nimekataa. Ni movies hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Social media hapana, nimekataa. Oh, kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi? Ni ujinga hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Eh. And then the other ones, I think they're the ones to tell us what they have learned. Can you cheer them? Cheer them, cheer them. What's the name of this gentleman? Huh? Nation. I don't know any. Edit. Go. Nation. Edit ajamwaga maji. Nation. Na bado iko mingi. Mano mogo mitielo. Mama biro ni ipor na mogo. Mnajua hiyo kitu? Mama wacho ni por ne mogo. Mama wacho ni tielne. Kaka no tielo ni. Press it well. I just pour your water, then I conclude. Pour your water, then I conclude. Okay. I think we can stop it at this. Can we clap for them? Now, we have nation. You can see? Mnaona nation. And then we have Edith. Thank you for participating. Edith. Now, whom do you think has done it better? Nason. Now, I want to ask them, what have you learned as we had 4 substances? The large rocks, the sand that has large particles, the soil, and the water. What have you learned?
I think what I've learned, I can't feel many things in my brain at the same time. And I must consider so that they may fit.
Okay.
Yes.
What have you learned? For them to fit, what should you have done? I don't want 2 stones at the top. What should you have done to have these stones fit inside?
I could have. Okay. I've learned that the small ones, they can fit in the small spaces left by the large ones.
So which should have come first?
I think that if faster.
If she would have started with the stones first, she would have got it better. And now look at this illustration and please take this lesson on priorities. So some of us fail because we have started with things that are of low priority. So we have large stones here. So I begin with the large stones. This is just for illustration. Then after the large stones, we have for us, we have the small stones. Are you following? Then you pour the small stones. Then you do this. The space that has been left by the large stones will be occupied by the small what? The small stones. You just shake it well. Then when you are done, you pour the fine stones. You pour the fine whatever. Na imeingia nini? Yote, ndio? Thank you for that observation. Though the glass is smaller, you can see they are all fitted here, right? Then we take water. This is our water. Then you pour water. You allow it to cover all that space. You allow it to cover all that space. Then all the items can come in. Now, this simple illustration means this. The light stones are the things that are the most important for us in life, today, tomorrow, and in future. For your life, for example, when you wake up, the most important thing if you're a student is academics. Then you can go to the small stone. maybe checking on your parents. It is important, but is it urgent? No. Then we can go to the soil, things that may not be so important, like practicing that talent. You are in Form 4, you are going to do your exams. Now, make up at Nikona talent. KCSE is not for talent, is it? Is it? So instead of going to do your chemistry practical, you are practicing your talent. But when you begin with your academic life, then you do the things that follow that. Then you can do the things like talent and pursuing something like singing and all that. Then you crown it all with any other skill that you need. You will realize that your life has been planned. You wake up and you give the top priority all that time. Then you list all those days. When the day ends, you realize you have done everything, including both that are most important to the least what? Important. So, prioritize your life and make first things first. And if you have a point or two, our speakers, I don't want to proceed from here. Have you learned something? Andrew, a point or two, then we... Yes, that's what I'm saying now. You will now tell us whether it is sitting or good. So let him pick from there. We could stand up, stretch, stand. Stand. Stretch. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 9, 2, 6, 4, 12, 13, 14, 1, 8, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 28, 34, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41, 2, 9, 10, 50. Good. So Andrew wants to crown this with something, and then we call it a day.
Thank you, George. Can you give George a clap? Just clap, rather, like rainfall. Rar. Just clap for George. I've noticed you have to be told how to clap. Clap again. Yeah, part of things that make school a bad place is the fact that you are taught to reason in a straight line. If you're not going to school, I will allow you to skip this session. Can I get the one with the code? I'll allow you to skip the session. If you are not to school, if you don't have a burden of school, I want to add to what George has just done. That was so profound, so broad on everything. I want to narrow on school. He has done well on excellence. So I'm not going to deal with this second part. I'm going to point to you how to get good grades, period. Are you ready? If you're feeling tired, walk out a little, come back. Some of you are asking, were you even in high school? Jana niliwaambia story ya sweater yangu. If you look keenly, you will find that this is Philip Lana and George Moro. Their sweaters look alike. You remember my story of yesterday? Their sweaters look alike. These were bought from last Jonah. Hii yangu, hata nimeikunja hivi nikaituck in. The story I told you yesterday. So I was in Form 2. We were looking for Loop of Henley at the Kanga School of Economics. I want you to start this lesson by closing your eyes. Look at that picture first and close your eyes. Just see the picture, then close your eyes as I talk. No, it's not a joke. I want you to travel. If you're in JSS, I want you to travel in your mind's eye to the day results will be out. If you're in high school, I want you to travel. If you're in Form 3, KCSE, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Just go to the day results are announced. Who is your education CS? Just imagine the guy now is coming out and is announcing. And it is the day, if you're in campus, your graduation date. I want you to tell me how you will feel now that you have sent the text, star what, and your result is back, what will be your score? What will be your best subject? What high school or university will admit you, and what course will you be applying for? As that goes on, now you can open your eyes. And let's just continue into the lesson. It's important, yesterday I told you, to have goals. Because if you start from goals, realistic goals, accomplished goals are the keys to moving forward. If you're a child, in fact, one of the things leaders are paid for, CEOs of companies, they are paid for keeping goals in front or in the eyes of people. When you're a child, you can sit, and a child is anybody who is below 12. You can sit and say, one day, I will go to Nairobi, I will travel to Dubai. You can just imagine you will travel, and you can imagine and think of how you will go. But when you become an adult, you can't behave like that. One day I was graduating, my university was in Zambia. I noticed as an adult, it is not enough to know the destination. I will go to Nairobi. Apana. As an adult, you have to say, I will go to Nairobi using a bus. You must know the details. Beyond destination, the plan, the departure, the cost, the routes. Will I take an Uber when I arrive here? What are the costs? And friends, the difference between an adult and a child is this. Read for me this. The day you transit from childhood to adulthood is the day you take about how many things? Everything that happens to you. Everything. You must take responsibility. So how many of you are children? How many of you want to become adult? If you go to someone driving a vehicle on the road, if you go to the captain of a ship in the ocean, you ask them questions, they may not answer every other question, but one question they know very well is the question of, where are you going? They'll tell you, I am going to Port Harcourt. There are three things I want to add to what Ogala said on excellence, and then I take you to studies. You must know how to set goals. So yesterday I asked you, just write. Now here is three things I want you to do about goal setting. There are 3 W's. Yesterday I told you, write everything you would want. But in the writing of everything, you must describe it as the what, and you must add a timeline to it. That's what will make you know this is a pebble and this is a sand. Things that must be done immediately. Things that are big. So that goal setting is important. It's like you have something in front of you. Why it's called a goal is because you can't hit a target you don't see. So once you've set the goal, you focus on that goal. Like a footballer, you may move, you may fall. You add 2 things to that list. When will you achieve that which you want? And then during lunch, you can have another talk. There are 5 study skills for success. How many are they? Number 1, and some of you will be learning as you execute, because you are learning and implementing. Let me say something. You can't listen to this session without writing notes. So if you don't write notes, just go home for lunch. You can't. It's not allowed. This session, I have done it to serious schools in Nairobi, Rusinga, Briband. They pay a lot of money to sit and listen to this thing I'm going to teach you, and it changes grades. Number 1, concentration. So what is concentration? 2 things are involved. There's the attendance, you're in class listening, and there are methods of listening. Some people think that the fact that you're in class, you will understand. That is not true. There are different kind of learners. You need to know. When you sit in class, you're not like everybody else. There are, number 1, logical learners. Write that down. What did I say? This, and this will be short. What kind of learners? Why do you need to know which type of learner you are? It doesn't mean that if you are a logical learner, you are better than the other type of learners. But how do you know you're a logical learner? There are people who will do well with maths, with reasoning, with patterns. They can draw connections, quick subjects. Now, that doesn't mean you are not a good learner. It just means you need to know how you understand. The other kind of learners are social learners. What kind of learners? Social learners do well with verbs. Then the teacher says, then he rises up and says, Mwalimu, so you've said there are three kinds of learners. And then people laugh. You know why you are laughing? You don't know he is a social learner. He learns by saying it. If you are a social learner, you must ask a question in class. You need to know. Then there is a solitary what? A solitary learner is hata kama mwalimu ni mzuri, lazima akae na hiyo book yeye mwenyewe, afeel hiyo book, asikie sauti ya book and the smell of books. Woe to a solitary learner who is hanging around social what? Woe to a social learner who is next to logical what? I was a logical learner, that one I know. Mwalimu anafundisha to the principle, the rest I know. I will derive. Kuna mtu lazima mwalimu afanye. Fanya example ndio nielewe. It doesn't mean you are stupid. Your business as I talk, you must learn what kind of a learner are you. Beside that, Dr. Vac also came up with another way of defining learners. He says, learners can also be auditory. Auditory means they learn by listening. If you are an auditory learner, you must be careful to sit in a place that is quiet, number one. Attend all classes. Me as an auditory learner, it was really bad for me to be chased away from school for even one day for school fee. Because if I sat there, I listened to the teacher saying it, I will remember. Then there's someone who is a visual learner. A visual learner must be shown, and teachers, please learn this. When people, and Jesus was a good teacher, he would use illustrations, knowing in his audience there are auditory learners. So he would say, the wind, don't know where it is. And he would say, the fields are white. He would teach people in an evening where bridegrooms were passing. The kingdom of God is like a bridegroom. That's why we attempt to put PowerPoints, because there is somebody learning by visual, and the world knows it. Everything is put on the screen. Wewe ni mwalimu and you don't want to illustrate like George has done. This is excellent teaching. If you are a visual learner, you can't sit at the back. You must sit here, isn't it? Because ukiona, you believe. Thomas was a visual learner. He had to see to believe. God created us different. Then there is somebody called kinesthetic learner. Huyu ni jamaa akipelekwa PE anaenjoy. Akafanya experiment anaenjoy. Akisikia hiyo pop sound ya oxygen. Was it oxygen? Hydrogen. Question. What kind of a learner are you? Number one. Number two, how do you have friends? If you are an auditory learner, your deskmate must not even speak for a minute when you're in class, because you'll miss the connection. Come to class when your mind is prepared. So don't start worrying about home. Oh, mom, leo sasa wamelala njaa. Wewe uko shule umeshakula nyoyo. Wamelala njaa. What can you do? I don't notice that I was affected by my family's poverty when I got to school. But I said, nikiwa shule, what can I do for them? Nothing. Sindio? But the thing I can do for them is to pass, then I can change their situation. So if you are this kind of learners, get to know how to elevate your learning posture. Now, always be prepared for class. Don't just show up and run to class. There are two things here. You don't just attend, but you need to listen. Listening means several things. Take them down. Number one, pay attention. Say that with me. Pay attention is expensive. That's why it is being paid. Don't think listening is paying attention. No, you must take notes. That's the sign you're paying attention. You must participate, ask questions, think through it. And then note if I give any assignments. You don't just listen by looking. You don't just listen passively. And I want you to go back and revise these notes that I'm giving you and write quickly. You don't have to write this word attention yote. Just say pay ATT full stop. Unajua ni attention, sindio? Take notes. Take TK notes. Is that okay? You know, need not write shorthands and things like that. Ask, I'm going ahead of myself. I think I'll need it. So you need to know how to listen. In listening, don't just listen for words. Listen for meaning. What are the central idea? What was the explanation given? What were other... Don't write everything. Hold on. Because I know writing will affect your understanding. Hold on. Now don't write this one. I'm teaching you how to listen, because listening, you can also listen and understand without even writing. So I'll tell you when you need to write. Okay? But also adjust your note take to insist. It's your sita kumbuka. If you tell your mind auta kumbuka, I'll tell you in the last part how to make your brain remember anything. So if I say this one, don't try that. Then focus on what is important. Not everything the teacher says is important. Mr. Achebe used to have a behavior. Was it Achebe? Yeah, Achebe used to say, this is a very pregnant area for this year's KCSE. So we used to take note of every area he says is pregnant. So we used to write. Before KCSE, we went checking what was pregnant. It was the entire syllabus. But that's a joke for another day. Now, choose to be interested. You can choose. Unasema mathematics itaki, it's a choice. Hakuna mtu alizaliwa akijua mathematics. Everybody learns maths. Nobody was born knowing chemistry. Everybody learns. Eti mimi sijuangi chemistry. Nani alizaliwa akijua periodic table? Everyone learns it. Then the other one, link what you are learning now to what is in reality. Link what you've learned before. You've learned salts in Form 2. Link now the current reactions you are doing on salts. If you can't be able to link, you won't understand. Then physical posture. Kuna watu wamekaa. Give me a chair here, quickly. Give me a chair. You must know there is a posture for blood to flow into your brain. Anytime you are sitting and starting to slouch, it means you are not getting enough blood here. Always adjust. Keep adjusting. Sit upright like this. You don't want to adjust. Ka hivyo, you will remain stupid. Your body will get tired. Adjust. If you must take a walk for a few minutes and come back. Because listening and understanding is a product of your brain. Engage with your instructor. Akikuja huku, follow him with your eyes. Akienda huku, follow him with your eyes. I can see a lot of you are paying attention. Now, let me leave that. Number 2, I'm just taking notes. Question. Have you ever written something and then afterwards you're frustrated? You can't even read your own handwriting. You don't even know what you wrote. There are people with handwriting, then there are people with hands that write. You can't remember what you wrote. There are rules for taking notes. You want them to be clear and accurate. You want to compare notes. Lesson ikiisha, take a moment and check where uliandika nini yenye sikuandika, and then organize. There is somebody called Dr. Connell's note-taking system. I use this a lot. On my page, you split it into 3. A small part here and a small part at the bottom. So you write everything in the middle, especially as a class. So usijaze kila kitu on the page. Why? Later, when you are reading this part, you can write your cues of what is in this paragraph here. So when you are revising, you don't have to read all this thing. You just come and check here, check here, check here. Then you read all this and summarize here. Nobody knows that except the young people who have attended this conference. And you guys will go back to school, you will be sharp, isn't it? So don't just write. Kata hivi laini, kata hivi chini. Ukirudi kurevise, soma hii paragraph, andika cue. Like, how will I remember this paragraph? Write that word here. Summarize. Is that good? Note taking. Number three, studying. They're just 5, and I'm going to leave this before you know it. This is going to be short and sweet. Number 3 is, how do you study? Do you just pick a book and you start studying? First of all, studying is different for different subjects, okay? So now you've been prepared for class, you've attended class, you've completed assignment thoroughly in a timely manner. You review your notes rather than cram them for test. Now you set aside a quiet time. How do you study? There are 4 hours of studying. Don't pick a book and just start reading. Number 1, the first step is develop a roadmap. Now here, stop writing. Understand, I will give you time to write what is important. Sawa? I want you to understand. Sawa? You get a book. Here is a book. You want to study it. It's a set book. It's a geography book. It's a topic. The brain iko na ujinga. Akili iko na ujinga. Ujinga ya akili ni hii. It wants to conserve energy. Why must it conserve energy? The brain is the single most organ that uses the greatest amount of energy for performing the simplest task. So the brain was made to conserve any energy. So if it can avoid doing anything, it will quickly, conveniently avoid. And the brain is one of the reasons why people end up being stupid. That's why men who have known how to manage their brains grow to be wise. What does that mean? You go reading this book, the brain will be asking, do I have to read it? Is there a way I can just survive without reading? Like, can we not read this book? It's taking too much energy. So you will be reading. If you force it to read, it will go to the next part. Must we remember? Must we remember? Just read. Don't even remember. Then you end up being stupid. The only way your brain will recall things is if you force it. Tell it, I am about to read. You must remember X, Y, Z. Question, how do you do that? And listen through to the end before you start writing. Number one, whenever you get any material, don't go straight to start reading. First of all, start by developing a roadmap. Why am I reading this book? To answer questions of this exam. You must have a reason. You can put that roadmap stroke reason. Why are you reading? What's your goal? That's the first R. Write that down now. Before you start reading anything, tell yourself, what is the goal? Set a goal. I am reading 2 hours this chemistry book so that I can be able to solve. If you don't have a goal, don't read. I am reading this book to learn the 4 principles of leadership. So your brain knows that as I'm reading, it will be looking for those answers. How long does that thing take? 1 to 2 minutes. After hujaanza kusoma, what are you doing in that 1 to 2 minutes? What you will do and why you will do it. I will read chapter 1 of salts. Why am I reading? So that I can answer the questions at the end. Step 1. Hiyo iko sawa. Second R, you now open the book and start reading. Listen here, friends. I said read with focus. Don't just read. Remove telephone. Stay in a place that makes you feel nice. Sit upright. Have all the books there. You don't have to wake up and go away. And this thing, if you are in junior secondary, you must sit for 30 minutes and read uninterrupted. That is when your frontal lobe will develop. If you are in campus, it must reach 50. One sitting session should clock 50 minutes. Don't tell me, I can't read for 50 minutes. I have a short. Who was born with attention span? Nobody. You grow it. There's something called reactive attention, which grows as you watch things that are moving. That's why football is bad for your brain. Then there's something called focused attention, which grows by you sitting there and finishing the assignment, reading for 50 minutes. By the time you are 12 years old, you should sit and read for 50 minutes complete. If you can't, you have a disability that needs to be worked on by training. 50 complete. What are you doing during these 50 minutes? Interact with the material, summarize, organize. What are the concept maps? What is the process? Where is this thing starting? What are the details? You reflect, fill up the notes. How many minutes? 30 to 50. Ukimaliza, don't jump up and start noise. No, you must do what is called a reward session. Between 10 to 15. This is part of reading. If you don't tell your brain that reading is a good thing, it will hate reading. How many of you love to eat maybe something? You love to eat. You know what I would do? Let's say mom has cooked njugu, and you love eating njugu. You know what I would do? Before eating the njugu, I'll tell myself, for me to eat the njugu, I will finish assignments. Then I will eat the njugu. Sawa? If you are able to know how to use the things of this life to make yourself disciplined, you will be a happy man. They say, bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with. Good habits are hard to form, but easy to live with. Can I say that again? Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with, difficult to live with. Good habits, difficult to form, but easy to live with. So this is one of the good habits. How many of you love to watch TV? Can I see? I will tell myself, I will watch TV today, but after I have finished a chapter. After a chapter. Write that. That was rhyme from glory. After a chapter. Naona mmechoka, but this is a short lesson, so don't worry. So I told you they're just 5 steps. How many of you love to visit their friends? Can I see? Are you following what I'm saying? You wake up and say, I will visit so-and-so only after I have finished what? So don't waste your rewards. Don't waste your football. Say, my football is at 3 o'clock after I have done what? Why? The brain will understand that if I do a hard thing, I will be rewarded. So take some time with your popcorns. Keep it there. Ikutese ukisoma. Soma tu popcorns iko. Ukimaliza, chukua hiyo popcorns. Kula as you take a walk. You are rewarding yourself. But you're not just rewarding yourself. You are relaxing. You are getting away from the material. But don't go playing immediately. Do something that you like for 15 minutes. And this thing I can say here, this cannot be television, because television is bad for your brain. It must be something you can do out in nature. And it's something you should do alone. Don't interact with people still. Stay alone. Think on the material. Take a walk. Kula kitu, drink water, don't talk to anyone. Then come back. Remember Dr. Connell's picture? Ulikuwa umeshasoma ukasummarize huku na whatever. When you come back, sit down and go over the summary of the material, then close it. Why? This 15 minutes allows the material to settle in your brain. The brain is looking for association where to store it. Some get lost, some get, in the periphery. But when you come back and reinforce, the brain realizes, okay, this one needs to be remembered. Other ways of studying is the parser method. What is parser? Preview. That means unachukua book, unaangalia table of contents. Does this book fit what I'm looking for? Skimming through. Does this chapter have the answers of the questions? Subheadings. You just go through subheadings, the bold words, the graphs, the pictures. Ukimaliza, you go to I have added this. This is something I created myself, by the way. In my opinion, don't attend class if you didn't preview the material. That class won't help you. So attend class as you take notes. And then R is review. Review is you go over what the teacher taught. Number 3, number 4 is now you study. Take a moment and now just take a text. I want to know how to balance equations. When you start with a question before you study, the brain will look out for those things as you read. And it will take you a short time to read it than anybody else who is just going to read. Ukimaliza, jiulize maswali kama unaweza jibu. The ones of KLB, assess yourself. That way, you will be wiser. Some of you can use, maybe this is for university students because we are many here. Primary, junior, you can just use parser and you are good. But the SQ3R is good, where you survey the material for higher learning. Survey the material means you go through it kwanza, raise questions from the end, the book of the end, examine the questions to find directions in the text, and then study groups, right? Yeah? Do you have study groups? Here are some hints. You benefit from study groups. Number 1, how many members? Between 4 to 6. Don't write. There were only 5 steps. I have talked to you how to concentrate. I've told you how to take notes, how to study. Now I want to teach you how to memorize. Do you want that? There are only 5. The last one is exam. Do you want to know how to memorize? Here's a graph that will teach you first. Listen, look at this graph first. The first time, according to science, the first time you study anything, you have seen, you have listened, unakumbuka, you have written, and you have done uko na 100%. After 3 days, it's all gone. Memory, yani imeisha yote. But if you review within the day, that thing stays in your brain for 7 days. That's why you must always study for the exam a day before and a week before. But if you redo it with... So if I were you, based on this graph, you know what I would do? And this is what changed me from, I used to score 16% in mathematics. Mimi, mwenye nimesimama hapa. But I ended up with a straight A. I made a decision that I will be reading what I am taught before 24 hours. This was in Form 2. I had not studied this thing. Why? Before 24 hours, you can remember the voice of the teacher, the illustrations he used. Kumbe hii material haikuwa imepotea. Also, if you review kile ulifundishwa tu jana, ni kidogo. So akili ina feel like, hii tunaweza elewa, si ndio? Then you find another time again to review it. This requires you to be very organized. But memory can also be enhanced by the following tricks. Number one, if as you read, make the information meaningful. So just say meaningful. Don't write everything here. Number two, organize. Organize the information. Which one is related to which one? Number three, visualize. That means as I talk, think of the stomata being on top of the leaf of the pawpaw that is next to your grandmother's house. That's the way you'll remember the stomata, isn't it? Place it somewhere in real life. Then active studies, study groups. Andika your study group. Association is the same as visualization. Sindio? Andika to association. Storytelling. No wonder Ogal used a story for you to remember. Talking to people about it. You know, you must go and tell someone what you learned. Today when you leave here, share it with someone. Can somebody read for me the last one? For you to memorize, you must know how to use what? Anybody knows what a mnemonic is? A mnemonic is, for example, parser. Who remembers parser? Parser is P-A-R-S-A. I used mnemonic in teaching you depression today. You remember? You must be able to organize your information so that you remember it. We want you to remember. Lastly, this is for making students wise and bright in school. Small, simple lesson. 15 minutes. I have 1 more minute and I will teach you how to take exams. Are you ready? Exam taking. So the last one for today is exam taking. How many of you love exams? You love exams? Well, there are two parts of exam taking. There are people, when they hear exams, they want to stress themselves out. Don't be stressed up after today. Exams are easy. 2 steps. There is general preparation and the actual taking of the exam. Let's begin with general preparation. As the term begins, always know you are preparing for an exam. If you're an organized person, you know what is the pass mark. Why am I doing this exam? What are the dates? Usikue unashtuka eti week 4 kuna cut. Apana, you should know where is the exam place, what will be the exam, you know, you're doing on day 1 and day 2. What will be your study plan? And don't procrastinate. It will make you cram. So start mapema. You know, enough time to study. If you are being taught just 4 pages in a day, read those 4 pages in a day. If you allow them to accumulate, there'll be 40 pages and you can't read 40 pages. That's why you actually fail. Okay? So, and then when now we are near the exam, their final examination. You can't say, kesho uko na chemistry, na wewe leo unasoma mathematics. You must study as per need. Ni subject gani that requires more attention. Watch for clues and direction within your text. The books themselves will show you this is an examinable area. Review early and prepare an outline. In terms of chemistry form 3, this is the topic. They always set on salt. They will set on reactions. You must know what is expected. It looks so much. That's why people get A and you won't get. When we teach them, they do. We teach you, you wonder. The difference is just attitude. But somebody inside here, unaona hapa venye watu wanaandika hizi vitu, kuna mtu anaenda kufanya hizo vitu. A few years later, amekuwa number 1. What was your trick? There is a teacher who came for a conference. He taught us. I implemented. Wewe saa hizo uko na DE. So you want to stay relaxed, and for the exam you want to arrive early. Why is that important? Stay hydrated, sleep the previous night, use the washroom before we ingie, because it will make, when your physiology is rested, your psychology follows through. And a good rested mind will always generate answers, even when you don't see, even if you didn't read it, you can always reason some things in the exam. Not everything in the exam is always written in a book. Some things in the exam you're supposed to generate as you sit there. Now, there's something people take for granted. I don't take this for granted. Let me say it in two ways. There's a pandemic of people stealing and cheating in exam. It's a sign that you are on the side of the devil. A child of God should not cheat in exam. You must go there, you have read, pray, and God will show up for you. This happened to me in the university. Everybody was cheating in exam. They were always sneaking in Mwakenyas. Me, I didn't. I would sit my exams with my brain. Today, when we meet the people we were with in class, they know this guy never cheated. They know this guy is the true engineer. The rest of them cooked their grades. On the actual exam, I want you to take note. Let me explain, then you take notes quickly. Number one, arrive early and be prepared. Listen to the last minute instructions. Kuna mtu ata struggle kuanza part A yote, kumbe part A uliambiwa answer 3 questions in part A. Wewe umejibu kila kitu. Imekuwestia time. Listen to last minute instruction. Then this is for technical subjects. Kama physics. Do memory dump. So you scan through the paper, unaona wameuliza question that will require you to pull an equation of velocity. As your brain goes on working with time, it loses the power and the muscle of memory. So ukiingia hivi, unajua watahitaji Newton's first law. Iandike tu hapo mbele, F is equals to ma, V is equals to U plus AT. I will need this later, and keep it there. Then start writing. So you go back, but don't take forever until you're doing a memory dump. Memory dump ni kutoa everything you remember really quickly. In fact, some you can even do on certain questions. You can see you remember it, andika quickly, and it's just a way of easing your memory, so you don't have the feeling of, okay, I have to remember everything, I have to remember it here. This is only good for technical subject. But then plan also how to answer. Which one requires more time? This is easy. How many marks? Don't just rush there like a pig. Not every exam you must do question 1, 2, 3 in order. Some you do from the back. Some you do from the middle. Some you start with the easy part. But this is something you learn with time. That's why every exam should be taken as a preparation, as a exercise, as a practice. So the other one, look for clues from other questions in the same exam. I have found this very useful. The other one, finish early and don't go out. Kuna wajinga wengine wakimaliza they walk out. Review. But when you review, there are people who change their answers and write the wrong answer. Be sure. Just review that you've written it well, your handwriting, your spelling. Be calm and breathe well. No anxiety, and consider every test as a practice. So don't say, nimeanguka, mimi nimeisha. Hapana, just say, nimeanguka, nitasimama. Say that with me, nimeanguka. Is there any question for this session? That is all I prepared for you on how to be good in your academics. I want to leave with you my number because it might help you one day. I know the value it gives. You want to have this number. Maybe you know a friend who is depressed, or you're feeling depressed. You can't talk here. We just want to thank you. Can the facilitators come? We have come to the close of this conference, and we believe that now you are prepared for the world. Are you? Was this helpful? You thought we were just coming here to tell you, yes, we want you to pass. We want you to get A's. I can see on your faces you're very happy. And thank you for being very patient. Yesterday, we made a call. I want to finish with that call. Jesus is willing to help you. Jesus is willing to walk with you. I want you to make a decision that you will walk with God. that you will consult God, that you will not be afraid of life, that you will rise up and stand in your time, that you will beat every bad habit, that you will grow your identity, that you will stand up and grow your mindset. Read your Bible. If you've not been baptized, make a consideration. Somebody made a decision to be baptized. I was very proud of her. Maybe you want to join. This is the right time to give your life to Jesus. God will sort you out on everything. If my sound can be heard by the other facilitators and elders, we are done. I think we have given a lot to this. Is there any question? Let me see. I could take on anything that you think we raised and has not been answered. There are some questions that were asked yesterday. Some, I don't know if they are near. I could just take a swipe on one or two. We asked one or two of you to see us. We haven't, but we won't be in a hurry. Any question? Yes, sir. Stand and ask. We're done with the seminar. Nice. Physical body, where you are training the physical, yes. Yeah. Yeah. They are what? Gymnastic. Continue.
Wale ambao mara nyingi ukiwaona tineno ka korgi okuot. That is the physical deformation of the body.
Yeah.
The upper part is big,
Yeah.
but the downer part is small.
It's small.
What is your take? In the second part that I want to ask, you're telling us on how to stay on the screen. Personally, Mimi, on that part, day one, when we were writing those things down, I said, I like watching movies. With one thing in mind, I don't watch series just like any. Ano kidiyuda naneno tapki, naneno kiango choti. You can't find me. But maneno is what put my mind into action. It allows me to think. For example, the series Ngamoseneno, the persons of interest. It tells you your mind on what you should do and then gives you your mind on how to think deep. Koro, like when I'm asking on the 3D, you're doing a presentation on PowerPoint. Even since morning, nyakanewa chaki gukinyi nyakasani okangeni ensadi, but I think it is around noon, we are still using that screen. Yeah? Koro, my tech kataka paro, like kataka ingisimu, the phone is not bad, but the person who is using the phone. And in my life, kataka nane secondary school, nasomo kata set book through my phone because I never had any book. Ingeka ngiyo set books amagidonje, they are very expensive. 2,000, then you can't afford them. So what is your take on this? Because you're using this one, it is nearly now 6 hours now down the line. What is your take on that?
That's a good question. Let me answer those two as you put up your hand. Number one, your body needs to be balanced by itself and by other elements of the body. The body is not just physical, the body is mental. So as you grow in size, your brain should also grow in size. Your emotions should grow in size. You should be able to handle many things spiritually. So I don't agree that someone goes and does gym na amefura huku and not anywhere. In fact, that thing is ugly. You need to be symmetrical. That's the first question. The second question, you notice even if we teach here, the problem of the screen is what we call rapid reference change on the scene. What they do with the movies, where they bring something before your brain can actually think it, because the frontal lobe performs a comparison on what you see, but they bring it and it needs time. They bring it quickly. Jamaa nakimbia, before you think it, washatoa uko kwa another scene. It's a big snake. Before your brain can decide what to do with the snake, they have gone. It's a car moving and somebody is shooting. Now that is very bad from the frontal lobe because the frontal lobe shuts down. So it doesn't matter what movie, whether it's Christian movie, as long as inaenda hivi haraka haraka, that one will kill you, will keep you depression, and will keep you stupid. They might pretend that they have 2 or 3 good lessons, but the fact that you're losing the executive function, kama nini www hizo vitu za wrestling, just the fact that ni kitu inaletwa hivi haraka, ingine imeletwa haraka, it is bad. Hata kama ni SDA choir, some of you shoot songs like that. But I also need to mention something. I came in here, I heard somebody was playing music that has loud booming bass. It was reggae type. You guys were even dancing to it. That music is bad for your brain. The music for the brain is a music that doesn't have beats. Poop, poop, poop. It's music that is classical. I didn't talk about that, but I heard you enjoying. But that thing will make you damn stupid. You can just continue enjoying it, but we will see. The music I listen to, no beats, classical music, soft sounds. If you have a brain, that's the music for the brain. If you don't, you will go into a hangla, music that wipes the brain. Thank you for raising this question because it has helped me to clarify that. So remove from your playlist music yenye kuna hizo bases kama reggae, the one that like the ones I listen to coming here. I'm just telling you the truth. You choose what you do. Now me, I'm a teacher. I'm not at your level. I am a teacher. It is something I've investigated. I've seen it in this country. I have seen it in my own life. When I made a choice to leave the music that has all those beats, something changes. And I've studied it. I've taught it even outside this country. I don't have enough time to explain. Choose quiet music. I wish I could. Did you hear the music I was singing with yesterday? Like that was a track. I played with a track. I played that on the piano. No beats and drums, but it's still good Christian music. So on the internet, there is good music, there is good videos. How do you know that a video is good? If it's not quickly changing. So you've also made a question on this screen. First of all, this screen is on a wall, so it doesn't have the blue elements of phosphor that is that is fluorescing. That is number one. Number two, you know, this screen has not been changing for the last almost 3 or 4 minutes. And then what I put on it are what I call static images, like that. So that does not affect the frontal lobe. Number three, I take breaks from it once in a while. When a girl is coming in, we change. That's why I said, even if you're working and you're working with a screen, you need to take breaks. So hopefully those would be good guides for your good question. Is there one more? I'll take one more. Yes, sir. Oh, you are, okay, nice. So let's take this last one now.
Okay, still on the screen. We have occasions where somebody is a software engineer, kind of earning through software engineering
Or coding.
Or coding. This person who has to stay on the screen most of the hours because this is the job that this person does.
Yeah.
So under that circumstance, is it advisable or how do we go about it?
That's a good question.
And then
continue, just continue. It's 4,000 to 8,000, the frequency of the Mozart effect. Yeah. It's good. Now that you asked those two questions, I'll take both of them, and I like listening to questions from people who read. So you guys are wise young people. I'll answer. A software engineer, a computer scientist will find himself, because of his choice of career, you have to do your thing using the computer. So you'll find most of them will have very good choices. Number one, good choices of computers to use so that they don't take unnecessarily long because of their processing power. They'll also choose screens that are not really affecting their eyes. They'll do a lot of things to ensure the screen does not affect their eyes. Even the posture of how they work with their computer. So that confirms to you that the screen will definitely affect anybody who uses it continuously long. The other thing we tell them is take breaks. so that you rejuvenate. Go and do other non-screen activities and come back. Finally, music, now that you mentioned the frequencies, when you add bass, gikmunene or hanglagi, these things are bad because in a letter, there are some chemicals they produce in your body which are not good and they're not healthy. But there are healthy frequencies between 4,000 to 8,000 hertz, which are produced by sounds of piano. I wish I could play for you some Mozart music. It has been proven to have healing effect. It rejuvenates the brain. That's why if you're a parent, if you're a church, please train your young people to sing with their voice without those loud booming bass. Yeah, most of the music today is just that character, and that's why you see people's brains are declining. But now that you have been taught all these things, why don't you take one and work on? Maybe not everything. Latch on one. So I want to pray that God will bless you. Thank you for raising those questions. You guys were so very patient. I want to end it here and turn it over to our pastor to now bring us to the close of this session.
Give engineer a hearty clap. Thank you so much. I'm in love with the ideas of the questions you have, meaning you've been listening. And it means you're ready to make some inquiries onto making decisions that will be beneficial for you. Just to touch on those questions shortly, and then we go. Your body image is very important to God. There's no baby or a child that is born with the upper body that is bigger than the lower body unless it is a deformity. Are we together? I don't know if you got me that. You got that right? There is no child who's born with the upper body that is bigger than the lower part of the body. So if anyone ends up that way, that is in a way an imbalance. Actually, you now form yourself like a triangle that is upside down. You lose balance. You don't have something called COG. You can easily topple over and fall. So kindly make sure your body remains symmetrical, just like Andrew has said. Don't get too fat, don't get too thin or too lean. Screen time, Andrew has said, and I taught that on digital matters. In matters screen, check the lights that go with what you're watching, the light that you expose yourself to, and equally, when you're watching videos, they are usually accompanied by soundtracks. Andrew was mentioning on the levels of the hertz that you have to listen to. When movies are scary or something, they usually have something on the background to create an emotion. Such things, yeah? Those things equally interfere with you. So when you want to watch things, when you want to be on the screens, it is best you use the study approach that you've been given to also study what you want to watch. You guys are great. God bless you. We would have finished right now, but I think you've taken your lunch for the next 30 minutes. Kindly rush back inside here. We have awards to give you. We've been looking at you from where we are seated there and when we are handling things. We want to leave you with something slightly more than the notes that you have on your books. So we'll be having a gifting ceremony immediately after lunch. Thereafter, we will say goodbyes and let you people embark on what you have to do as we also embark on what we have to do. Elder, kindly come and we pray for lunch, and then this team gets out. Your lunch is already there on standby. Eat quickly, come back here. We'll have gifting ceremony. Do you like gifts? Yeah, you've been told that if you want to study better, you must learn to do what? Award yourself. So we cannot teach you and not do that. So we are awarding you after this. So make sure you come back for the awarding ceremony, and then we go. Elder, please come. Pray with us as we leave.
There is lunch. So today, I do not want to see any of us in this room. I don't want to see your back going home. Immediately after lunch, you come back here for the awards. Let us pray for the food. Let us bow. May you bless it as we take it in Jesus' name. Amen. Tunawe pale nje kwa utaratibu. Tunaanza na wale wa nyuma. Tuanze na wale wako nyuma. The backbenchers. Unemuchaku walk. Mondo abedi ge order.